Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today's new video, aka live stream, is I drink beer, you ask NFL questions. I'm watching AEW. We got who? Daniel Bryan, aka Brian Danielson, versus John Silver in the main event. Join the Dark Order. So I got the Eagles versus Jets reaction video out and completed. You know, my boy Prayer Man 2009 shot me a 20 twin and Andrew Jackson a nice $20 bill, you know, for a nice donation for your boy. So I wanted to try to get a few more reaction videos out yesterday, but I was having some technical difficulties with the playback video, and it was a little choppy. So I wanted to make sure that I got the settings correct. And then once I got the settings correct, at that point, I was like, all right, let me at least take care of my boy. And then once I did that, you know, I only have a limited amount of time. I'm going to watch this match. The girlfriend's going to pick up the daughter. I have a little bit of limited time. I didn't have probably enough time to do another reaction video because it usually takes about an hour to complete everything. Alicio Luan, what's up? Doggy dog, I'm in the building. So again, you can actually subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF on the YouTube Super Chat right here. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. So I got John Silver. I got Daniel Bryan, a.k.a. Brian Danielson. This is the main event for AEW Dynamite, the best wrestling federation in the goddamn business. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I decided to switch it up and do the StreamYard. I usually use my OBS program, but I thought, hey, you can see my ugly mug a little bit more up close and personal. I can end up showing the messages when I do this. Bang! What's up, doggy dog? Alicio Luan in the building. Michaela Gabriel, happy birthday to you. Delete in the building. Thoughts on the Seattle win over San Fran? Big. Obviously, as we know, and let me actually get into the title, I drink beer, you ask questions. Today's show is sponsored by Corona Extra. I got a few. I'll see how many I can put back before the girlfriend comes back picking up the data, and I obviously got this wrestling match that I'm watching, but I thought it was big because, you know, Russell Wilson hasn't played great since he came back from the finger, right? And now we know, right, Jamal Adams is out for the year. I picked up Seattle's defense against Houston. You guys should be able to, in fantasy football, of course, all right? So I know that they'll be able to get the dub. At least I hope so. Because if you guys fucking lose to Houston, they put up a 0 against what, the Colts? So you better get that dub. But it was the most wild game. It was the most wild game from beginning to end based off the interceptions, the fumbles, the turnovers. I don't think I've seen the safeties. I mean, there were so many wild plays that went on in that Seattle game that you guys were kind of lucky that you won that game because it was so back and forth. I was a little surprised with the defense on how good they played at times. It was definitely a kind of a battle in the trenches. One team made a play, and then one team made a turnover. Then you're like, okay, that team's going to score, and then no. Boom, another turnover. Boom, another turnover. I mean, shit, there was like 3 turnovers within like a minute. Me watching that matchup, I thought it was exciting. I thought it was fun. The sad thing is neither one of y'all more than likely will make the playoffs. If you had to choose one team that's a bubble wildcard team, maybe San Fran is the most likely bubble team. The Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints, they're not getting in. All right, but maybe San Francisco will get in, but I don't think they're going to be doing anything in the playoffs. Dylan Rhoda in the building, Steelers in the building. I got a special surprise for you tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the Steeler matchup against the Vikings, and my boy Swaggy P will be in the building. As far as yesterday when I talked to him, he's going to come through. We're going to eat tacos, and I'm going to end up having a partner in crime, another member of the Northwest Sports Fanatics, come through. I'm a Bucs fan. He's a Colts fan. He doesn't really watch a lot of football outside of the Colts. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he doesn't. You know, he's got multiple jobs. He does reffing. He's hustling on eBay. You know, he's selling cards and figures. You know, he's a hustler like your boy. So he's always busy. But he will be in the building. So thoughts on the Seattle win over San Fran? I thought it was beautiful. It was great to see Seattle get back in the win column. And it was kind of nice to see Russell kind of start to feel comfortable with themselves. The offensive line is trash. The defense normally is pretty trash. Jamal Adams is no longer suiting up for this season. I'll tell you what, Bobby Wagner is a G. Absolutely love Bobby Wagner. He's a stud. You got DK, you got Tyler, get to the door and lock it. You have no Chris Carson, so I'm not really a big fan of a lot of the other running backs, the DJ Davises and the Pennies and, the other guys that you throw in there, the Collins. And then the Adrian Peterson thing, that was a little desperate. That was a little air of desperation, but, it is what it is. Let me drink some beer. The title of the fucking video is I Drink Beer, You Ask Questions, Q A. So let me do it real quick. First off, I got to not suck on it like a fucking nipple. I almost choked on myself right there. Jesus. Dylan Rona in the building. Yo, what it do? Yeah. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Air Whitey, what it do? Michaela, can I send you a beer? Can I send you a beer? Yes, I can. Airmail. Here's a beer to you. Happy birthday, Corona, to you. Rams, Cardinals, Monday night, your thoughts? A big game. I think it's a bigger game, Alicio, for the Rams than it is the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been able to squeak by with little or no Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins. J.J. Watt is lost for the year. You still got Budda Baker. You still got some great players on the offense and the defense. And even though the Rams have Matthew Stafford, even though the Rams have Aaron Donald, even though the Rams have Jalen Ramsey, even though the Rams have OBJ, even though the Rams have Von Miller, I don't really like the Rams. I mean, I want to say that I like the Rams more than I do, but the problem is, and I know Mob Squad 99 is in the building as well, the problem is Robert Woods is not there. And I think that people fail to realize he is the best blocker at the wide receiver position, arguably in the NFL. And ever since he went down, the team has not looked the same. OBJ is not Robert Woods. Give me Robert Woods 100 out of 100 over OBJ. OBJ might be able to make a splash play. Robert Woods is arguably one of the best underrated wide receivers in the league. If I'm going to go over my most underrated, we obviously seen Cooper Kupp. He was one of the most underrated, but he's now like the number one receiver in the NFL this season in the touchdowns and the yards and receptions. That's because of Matthew Stafford. All right. But not counting him, Robert Woods, Tyler, get to the door and lock it, DJ Moore. I think those are probably the three most undervalued, underrated wide receivers, and it's nice to see some of the rookies and some of these other guys starting to do their thing. But I don't know, man. The Rams need this game more than the Cardinals do. If the Cardinals lose, no big deal. If the Rams lose, their confidence is shaken. It already was shaken, being 0-3 in November, and they better get things going in December. Ooh, nice counter right there on Brian Danielson. John Silver, I see you. AEW Dynamite. Okay. But both teams could get to the NFC Championship game. I obviously like the Packers and the Bucks. It's all about being hot and healthy. The healthy part, the Packers and Bucks, we're fucked up. We got a lot of fucking injuries. But I think with the talent that we have and the depth that we have, even with the injuries that we've had, I like those two teams the most in the NFC. The Cowboys, the Cardinals, the Rams, they're still good football teams, but they're not the Packers and the Bucks. And then on the flip side, you got the Chiefs, you got the Ravens, you got all these other teams that are out there, but they're not New England. Obviously, we've seen that as well. You can throw 3 passes with Mac Jones and still win the fucking game. Defense, offensive line, and brilliant coaching, just like Alabama beating Georgia. Saban and obviously Bill Belichick seem like they can coach until they're fucking 100. And they are the top dogs in the league. I mean, it's very clear that we might get a Patriots-Bucks Super Bowl. And, I was kind of hoping for a Chiefs-Bucks rematch. But to be honest, if we get Patriots-Bucks and I can get that little Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, man, John Silver with the high risk. I think it would be awesome to see. I don't know if everyone would like to see New England in the Super Bowl. They probably would want to see like the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bills. They would want to see someone else that has more of a high up-tempo offense. I get it. But defense wins championships. Defense wins games. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. But right now, I probably would say the Cardinals are my third favorite team in the NFC behind the Bucks and the Packers. And then the Rams are probably sitting there at fourth. A little bit over the Cowboys, but the Rams took a big hit with no Robert Woods, so we will wait and see. But it's going to be one of the best games of the year. At least we hope that it is. Sarah Small in the building. What to do? What's up, everyone? I had a horrible migraine today. Well, I hope you feel better. You're going to see me and Swaggy P in the building. I thought I would mix it up and do the StreamYard, like I said, because we might be getting that Packers-Bucks playoff matchup. So I'm going to have to use StreamYard anyways if I do the collab with Grossi. So I might as well get back in the tip of doing a little StreamYard. Mob Squad 99. How are you doing? As a Rams fans, I'm frustrated with play calling by Sean McVay because he doesn't run the ball as much as possible, and the Rams are too predictable. I agree. But the thing, it all starts off with Robert Woods. Not having Robert Woods in the lineup, is definitely a killer. You can get OBJ as a name. He ain't no fucking Robert Woods. I mean, I know talent when I see it. I would take Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp on my team in a heartbeat. Those are the prototypical New England Patriot type of wide receivers. The Julian Edelman, the Wes Welkers. That's what Robert Woods and Julian Edelman and obviously Cooper Kupp, those guys, they all remind me of the same type of players with the discipline, the great route running, the great hands, and they get slept on. I think, obviously, Darrell Henderson was a little banged up. You got Sony Michel, but he's not the same Sony Michel that we saw with New England. Obviously, if you had Cam Akers, things would be different. But I would be a little nervous because Mob Squad and, a lot of people that were Rams fans got a little quiet. A lot of crickets were chirping. You guys were like, we're going to do what the Bucs did. Well, let's pump the brakes. You don't have the same type of depth that the Bucs did last year. Yes, I know the Super Bowl is in LA, but just because it's in LA don't mean that you're going to get there. Because at this point, the Cowboys, if they play well, the Cardinals, the Packers, the Bucs, they all could beat the Rams. But on the flip side, if Matthew Stafford actually gets rolling, all right, and they have a balanced offense, they could beat the Cardinals, the Cowboys, the Bucs, and the Packers and make it all the way to the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying that it's impossible for the Rams to get to the Super Bowl, but as of today, going into December, going into the playoff push, they definitely are not in my top two, not even in my top three. I hope for your sake, as a Rams fan, that you guys can get to the NFC Championship game. I would love to play you and beat you, all right? But right now, I like the Packers and the Bucs the most in the NFC, and I would be frustrated too with Sean McVay. Anthony Ramirez in the building. Hey, yo, Raiders in the building. Air Whitey, this might be the one time we win after a bye. Packers. Well, guess what? You got the Chicago Bears. And I looked at the rest of the schedule. You might run the table. I mean, you guys have played very, very well. You could say, arguably, that you guys are the best team in the NFL this season. Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers has played great. They've had injuries. They fought through it. Aaron Rodgers, I might say, he's the MVP this season. If you want to give him the MVP award again, and then Tom Brady gets the Super Bowl MVP, I'm cool with that. I don't need Brady to get the MVP of the league and Super Bowl MVP. I mean, if you want to give it to him, that's fine. But I think that normally they give it to one guy for the award, and then maybe another guy ends up being the Super Bowl. Here we go. Adam Hangman Page coming in. Bang, bang, bang. This is going to be a great rivalry. I can't wait for MJF, Kenny Omega to come back. AEW is in such good hands. I fucking love it. Sarah Small, I hope Taylor gets more yards. I mean, he's a top 5 running back. We already knew how great he was out of Wisconsin, and it's just awesome for him to be able to show out like he did. Well-deserved. He's a guy that I wanted in the draft desperately, and I would be very proud as a Colts fan having a Jonathan Taylor, and that's big facts. Young Gotti in the building. I really hope you guys get the 2 seed because I don't want to play you guys in the playoffs as a 6 seed. Well, guess what, Juan Gotti? I don't think anybody wants to play the Bucs. Whether you love me, you hate me. You love the Bucs, you hate the Bucs. You love Brady and Gronk, you hate Brady and Gronk. They are going to be the most dangerous team in the playoffs. Mark my words. New England and Tampa Bay will be the 2 most dangerous teams going in to the playoff push, besides also the Packers, because I like our defense a little bit more, but the Packers D has been phenomenal this season if you actually watched them play. And hey, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to play Tampa Bay either. I love Preston. Colts Nation, we have to stick together. Absolutely. NC Jolly. I hope AJ Green and Jalen Ramsey get into it. NC Jolly, you might get your magic wish. Michaela Gabriel, happy birthday. Beer. The title of the video is I Drink Beer. You ask NFL questions. So let me get into that. Yeah, that was good. Oh, now we got Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't mind watching hockey once in a while, but I think I would want to watch something else. I'm a big Simpsons guy, so I can do Simpsons. What's on the NBA slate? I hate the NBA, but let me see. What is it? Blazers, Warriors. Okay. So I can watch my Blazers lose by 100. All right. Dame wants the biggest contract in NBA history. So we're fucked. CJ McCollum has a lung that's about to pop. All right. It's broken. We can't get another player to come in, another all-star player to play with him. So we're pretty much fucked for the rest of our lives. That's fucking great. All right. Let me go to NFL Films Presents because, I love NFL Network. Can I watch this? Are you going to let me watch it? Possibly. All right. Let's go to the Blazers. Oh, fucking A, man. All right. And I'm not going to watch ESPN because they don't know fucking anything. I'll go to my local broadcast for Root Sports here for the Blazers and the Warriors. All right. Drinking the beer. All right. Memopolis, I have a big NFL-related question. All right. Ask it, baby. Christine Connolly in the building. Do you think the Vikings lost to the Lions? Well, you know what? I mean, if you are the Minnesota Vikings, there's no way in hell that you should have been in that fucking position. Now we know with like Thielen being out, and obviously if you play someone in the division, throw the records out the window. And I think Minnesota probably got cocky, just like every team that's played Detroit. That was just like, fuck it. I've seen a lot of upsets and a lot of shitty teams beat good teams in November. Right? And they were probably just like, fuck it. They are so fucking bad. They're going to go with a tie, and they're not going to win any games this year. And then what happened? Jared Goff and the Goffense actually got going and got to play there right at the very end. So, hey, shout out to Detroit because, a lot of people make fun of Detroit. Tampa Bay used to be the Detroit Lions of the NFL. One of the worst teams in the NFL from year to year. I always root for the Lions. I always root for the Jets. I always root for the shit teams in the NFL. I don't know about y'all, but if you're a New England Patriot fan or like a Steeler fan or a Packer fan or just a fan that, as a fan of a team that always wins 10 fucking games every fucking year, you don't understand what it's like to have that pain, to win only a few games a year and to have your season over by October. Trust me, I had that happen to me from 2009 all the way to 2008, all the way to 2019, like 10, 11 years straight. It fucking sucks. All right. I had a great Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, heyday from 95 to about 03. But then after that, it was just absolute dog shit. So I would say, hey, I think the Lions won the game, not necessarily the Vikings lost. Shout out to the Detroit Lions, #OnePride. Hey, did you see the Iowa Hawkeyes got the #1 safety recruit in the country? Yeah, I'm excited. I did not see that. I'll have to go read some articles on that. And shout out to you. Hey, you got to be able to get as many players as you can. Injury report: Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Anthony Simons, Cody Zeller, Nasir Little, Ben McLemore. As long as it's not Ben Simmons. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Michaela says, you are my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. Appreciate you. AEW wrestling is the best. Let's see here. How the hell did I go from 6-2 to 6-6 in fantasy? Hey, fantasy football, Memopolis, is one of those things that you need to learn. You can't get cocky, all right? The thing is, I'll tell you one big reason why you went 6-2 to 6-6. You want to know what it is? Fly like a butterfly, sting like AB. When you had Antonio Brown, my wide receiver, he was the #1 receiver for the Bucs, and he was putting up a shitload of points for you, helping you win, right? And if you don't end up getting guys on your bench to fill the holes for the guys that are hurt, injured, playing like shit, in a slump, if you look at my team in fantasy football, I have the best team from top to bottom. I'm projected for the most points. I've scored almost the whole most points in the league. Yeah, my record, I believe, is 8-5. I'm going to be 9-5. My record should be probably 10-4 because I had one loss by like less than 1 point. But it's all about managing your team every week and making sure you have no wasted spots on the bench. You want to make sure that you have solid pieces from beginning to end. And I'll tell you what right now, when you actually look at my team, and I'll read it off to you here, Terrence Harris, $10 on the Cash App. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Let me type that in here right here. I'm not sure if it's on here. Terrence, my dude. And I'll get to the comments as much as I can. Make sure I spell your name right, too. Terrence. Thank you, brother. Someone put thank you. Thank you, bro. All right. But that's what happens. All right, let me go back to my lineup. I got distracted here. So I drink beer. All right, you ask questions. Thank you. Terrence Harris with the dono. Let me see here. Everyone's sending me everything. Oh, look at my boy Joe is watching me on the motherfucking TV with my big ass head. Appreciate you. All right, so let's do a quick look, and you can let me know if you think that the team is good or not. I am primed to win a fantasy football championship. I usually get top 3 every single year, but it's hard to win because you have injuries, guys that play like shit. Okay, I'm 8-5. I'm going against Frisco Treats, who's the worst team in the league at 4-9. And he's projected for 117. I'm at 131. This is my team, okay? Patrick Mahomes. You can't really rely on him. Najee Harris, Cordarrelle Patterson, Devontae Adams, Chris Godwin, Pat Freiermuth at tight end, Josh Jacobs at my flex, Seahawks D versus Houston for just this week, Justin Tucker at kicker. My bench, Bucks D, Darrell Henderson, Matthew Stafford, Hollywood Brown, Mike Williams, Dolphins D, Taysom Hill, and Chase Edmonds on my IR. So it shows you got to have a full roster. But trust me, I've been there. You know what I mean? I don't know if I've dropped and lost 4 in a row like that. I usually lose 2 games at the very most, and I rebound because I find a way to get the points. And, I do a lot of research and reading. Fantasy football is not easy. Not anyone can win a championship. That's facts. Michael, yo, Ryan, how are you? Go Bucks, baby. Go Bucks, Michael. Let's go, baby. Let's go for 2, baby. Let's go for 2. Cardinals looking legit, but they aren't better than the Packers, in my opinion. I agree. Kyler needs to stay healthy, but I think I trust Aaron Rodgers, and I trust that team, a little bit more, regardless of who's at running back, regardless who's on the defense. You know what I mean? I think I really trust Aaron Rodgers and his experience more than the Cardinals. But the Cardinals could overachieve and make the NFC Championship game this year. I wouldn't be surprised. Bang, 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 bang. This was already like 10, 15 minutes ago. Sarah Small, bang, $1. Appreciate you. I see we have another $5 donation that I'll get to here in just a second. I don't like to skip anyone. If you do streams with me, I like to acknowledge everyone. You know what I mean? No one gets left out. You know what I mean? I know when you get bigger, it's hard to be able to, acknowledge everyone. And that's why you do the super chats to get noticed and to get your comment read. But, with me, hey, I'm going to read the comments regardless if I get a donation or not. But I do appreciate you guys very much. Yo, Ryan, what up? Gray, what I do? I did the Eagles and the Jets reaction video. I tried doing reaction videos yesterday, but I had some internet issues with my OBS program. So when I did the reaction videos and I did the playback, it was hella choppy. It was like, and I was like, dude, I can't upload this. I can't put this on YouTube. So it's like I'm trying to react to the video and it's all fucked up. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this. Then I tried deleting some stuff, clearing some space on my computer. Then I got it to work. And then, your boy, Prayer Man 2009, shot me a 20, an Andrew Jackson in the dono. So I had to be able to show some love and do the Eagles. And I could have did another reaction video today, but I thought, it'd be fun just to kind of interact with you guys. I drink beer. You guys ask questions. And I'll try to get to more reaction videos as the season goes along. Let's see here. How much did you laugh when the Vikings lost to the Lions? To be honest, it almost made me cry a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? And the thing is, if you're a Packer fan, you can laugh. If you're Grossi, you can laugh because that's what you wanted as a rival to the Vikings, the Lions, and the Bears. You want the Vikings, Lions, and Bears if you're Grossi just to lose everything, right? Because that's your rival. You're a Packer guy. You're a Packer fan, right? But with the Lions, I felt really good for Jared Goff because, to go to LA, make a Super Bowl, yeah, you lost, and then to get thrown out the door for Matthew Stafford, right? And then you can't even win a goddamn game. You tie. It's not all Jared Goff's fault. Now, would I want Jared Goff on Tampa Bay? No. All right. But I don't think he's bad as people are labeling him as this kind of like this garbage player. I think that Jared Goff is not as good as like Carr, Baker, or Kirk Cousins. He's a little bit lower, but I think with the right coaching, Goff could actually be something. If you put Jared Goff on New England, I think he could actually produce for you. Would he be able to produce on any team? No, but I think Jared Goff in the right situation, he could actually prove himself, and I think he can get back to being, a decent quarterback. Big Jim Cruz, happy holidays, my guy. Appreciate you. Hey, fly, Eagles, fly. I did the Eagles reaction video for you for Gardner Minshew, Mustache Minshew. Hey, I ended up watching him at Washington State. What a great performance. A lot of field goals. He had 4 field goals by Jake Elliott, but 2 tutties by obviously Dallas Goedert, and I loved watching that highlight reel. Joseph Andrade, LOL, I found you on my TV. Damn right. Appreciate that. All right, I'm scrolling down here. Let's see here. STL Rocks 2021 YouTube. Cheers. Speaking of cheers, I drink beer. You ask questions. That's what I should just do, right? I should just do like a beer stream where I just drink beer the whole time, or I just like smoke weed or do edibles. I mean, I do that during the games anyways. All right. I can throw them back. I can definitely throw them back. Let's see here. Eric Whitey says, we about to lose to the Heat without Butler and Bam. Christine Connolly in the building. What to do? Bama deserved their win over Georgia. Well, yeah. I don't think anyone thought Bama was going to win besides Bama fans. We started throwing them out the window. We were like, Bama's not going to be able to do it. And then we always take for granted. All right. Oh my God. $200 donation. Bang, 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 bang. I haven't even gotten to the $5 donation. I see a $200 donation. I better get caught up with the live stream. Bang, bang, bang. There. Cheers. $200, $200, $200, 99 cents, $5, $5, $1, $200. Goddamn. Thank you. Woo! Appreciate you guys. But, anytime we doubt Saban or we doubt Belichick, that's what they do. They come back and they end up winning. Terrence Harris, what's good with you, bro? Hey, well, I'm good. Dude, donations are coming in. I'm interacting with the fan base. I love you. I appreciate you. Terrence Harris, $10 dono on the Cash App. My dude, I appreciate you. Terrence Harris, $10 dono. Fly, Eagles fly on the Cash App. Love you. Odin's Child in the building. Beers, and more beers. Alicio Lewan. Bang, 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 bang. $5, $5. Paula in the building. What to do? So what's your fantasy team name? Just Northwest Sports Fanatics. I usually end up coming up with a, very creative name, for fantasy football. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. What happened? I got my ass kicked last year. So I was like, fuck that. I'm just Northwest Sports Fanatics. And it's working out for me. I think I'm sitting in third place right now. It's me, Zini Panini. She actually ended up winning the league a couple years ago. I think actually, no, she won the league last year as the only female in the league, and she's very intelligent. We have 9 dudes, 1 girl. I taught her how to play a couple years ago. She got second her first year. Last year, she did drafting all by herself, and then I think she ended up getting first place, and then I believe second place first year, first place last year, and then now we're just trying to battle it out, and I've been finishing about third the last couple years, which is bullshit. I need to get first, all right? But let's take a quick look. Let me look at the final standing projection here for the playoff bracket. So the playoff bracket is Team Memopolis, who started off 6-2. Now he's 7-6. He's the 4 seed. He's going against the number 1 guy, Team BMO, who's 10-3 in the league. He's been the dude this season. Orion is sitting at number 3 at 8-5, and Zini Panini, Bird Gang or Die, BG, the only female in the league, is 8-5, and she's number 2. So, but as far as like points are concerned, I think I've scored the most points or second most points to BMO in the league. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate that very, very much. Holly Hundo in the building. I figured that was you. Oh, Alicio, whose house is it? Rams house. Appreciate you very, very much. Orion, what wide receiver can you realistically see the Saints drafting? Seeing so much Olave, Wilson, Burks, London. What are your thoughts? The thing is that, Olave and Wilson, all these guys from Ohio State and all these amazing players, okay? All the amazing players in college football, they can fit in well. But first off, you got to be able to figure out who the fucking quarterback is. Is it going to be Jameis Winston? Is it Taysom Hill? Is it Simeon? Is it someone else? You got to draft either a quarterback in the draft or try to get someone in free agency. You got issues there. Jameis looked like he was the guy, and I think that he can be the guy. All right. He can be the guy if he didn't get hurt. And obviously, I know Devin White hurt him, and I apologize. We don't want anyone to get hurt. I didn't like Jameis Winston on my team. But let's be honest, he was playing fucking fantastic for you guys. Absolutely phenomenal. And I don't have a problem saying that. He was going to lead you guys to the number 6 seed this season, I believe, even with all the injuries, COVID, all the shit that was going on. But the thing is every time that the Saints fan base and then the media say this, they're going to be looking at this guy. What happens? They draft Peyton Turner. They draft Adebo. It's never who you think it's going to be. You know what I mean? Sean Payton don't give a fuck about what the fans think. So I don't know. If I had to take a guess, even though wide receiver is a glaring need in the first round, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes for defense, offensive line, tight end. Like he might go somewhere else and then go for a wide receiver for value in the second or third round. But I'll tell you what, if you guys get Olave, that would be like a Justin Jefferson impact kind of guy, a Jamar Chase kind of guy. And, for your guys' sake, you need that. But I don't really know if that's the direction you're going to go. But any of those guys would be great. but Olave by far is the best one. That's big facts. Let's see here. Christine Connolly, Bills are overrated in my opinion. I agree. Odin's Child was watching AEW. Look at they're right here. Holly Hundo, $200, not just $100. $200. Missed you all. Don't get the YouTube notifications all the time when you live stream, but here's a double Holly Hundo for you. Love you guys. Love you. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? Some of the streams have been pretty high in donations. Some of them have been a little low. And anytime that you get something like this, it definitely makes up for, maybe some of the lower, view counts, sub counts, donos. So thank you. To be able to have the support that I have from you guys. And when you see something like that, that's not normal. You know what I mean? The generosity that Holly Hundo has and, like Shep has and Odin's Child has. I mean, a lot of you can donate, but when you donate big, $50, $100, $150, $200, $500, that's not a common thing. It's very special. And it's kind of cool to be able to have you guys as part of the Fanatic family. It means a lot. I love you and I appreciate you. And I don't know what the hell is going on with YouTube with all the fans that I have. Very rarely it seems like people get the notifications. I need to go get another beer to celebrate this $200 dono from Holly Hundo. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back and I'll start answering more questions. Holly Hundo, the real MVP. Chiefs in the building. What to do? All right. Your boy is back. Let me crack these. All right. One beer for $100 donation. Another beer for another donation. All right. Let me Stone Cold Steve Austin this here. Woo! Let's go. Appreciate you guys. I don't know if you have to sub and then unsub and then sub again and then do the notifications and then hit like all videos. I mean, I don't know what's up with YouTube. It's all about analytics, metrics. They have their favorites out there, but it means a lot. Thank you so much from every single person. Alicio Lawan, Sarah Small, Terrence Harris, Holly Hundo. You guys are freaking the best. I love you and I appreciate you. Jeff said, got to have a really great running back to be nice. Yeah. I hear you. All right, here we go. Thunderdash, how do you think the Panthers' new OC will handle the rest of the season? Well, it's no longer Brady. And obviously Brady had issues. Run CMC's hurt every fucking year. Sam Darnold underachieved. You had a lot of guys get injured. The star corner that came out of college. God, it's just like we saw Patrick Surtain. We saw what he's able to do with Denver. It sucks with Horn. I was really looking for him to ball out. I don't know what to expect. I mean, the chances of the Panthers, the Saints, or the Falcons making the playoffs as that bubble team, it's not likely, but you never know. I mean, it can't get any worse than it's already been, but, Chuba Hubbard, maybe he can start balling out, but it's just the lack of depth, the lack of weapons. It's just really rough. I mean, if you're a Panther fan, Saint fan, or Falcon fan, I get it, man. Trust me, my Tampa Bay Bucks used to be those teams year in, year out. And to be very honest, even worse than those three teams are right now. Injuries are horrible, and the Saints have been riddled with injuries. Same thing with the Panthers. Calvin Ridley has had issues, obviously with mental health, and I've gone through some mental health issues, so I'm hoping that he's okay. We haven't really seen Kyle Pitts really the way that we wanted. Matt Ryan has been up and down. The defense has been kind of bad for the most part, besides, a couple of the corners that have been balling out. But we're going to have to wait and see where it goes. But it can't get any worse, in my opinion. Marcos Pineda in the building. Go Seahawks in the building. Paula in the building. Yay! Holly in the building. Let's see here. STL rocks. Our offense is so bad, like the New York Jets. Next year, I hope the Saints have a better offense. I don't see how we get upset by the Giants. Shock the world by beating Tampa Bay. Well, the thing is you guys have a lot of injuries. If you don't have AK-41, you have all these injuries with guys with COVID, the defense. You got to believe that you can go out there and win. And when a lot of the players are just looking forward to the offseason and they don't really care about the wins and losses anymore, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Even though you might be still in the thick of things for a wild card spot, it's not looking too good right now. And let's be honest, the Giants, the Jets, anybody can beat anybody on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. All right, we just saw the Detroit Lions beat the Vikings. Who would have thought that? A lot of bad teams can beat good teams. A lot of bad teams can beat average or beat up teams. We've seen it for the last 2 months. So, I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me if the Saints lose that game. They should win, but you don't really know. I mean, you're playing the Jets, so you should end up winning that game. But if the weather is bad, that probably actually benefits Taysom Hill, so that way he can be like an RPO guy. I have him in fantasy, all right? I got Patrick Mahomes. I can't trust him week in and week out, but he did go for five tutties against the Raiders last time they played, right? So if you go back and look, when he played the Raiders, 406 yards, 5 tutties, 36 points. But, I mean, look at these numbers with Mahomes. 7, 14, 10, 36 points against the Raiders, 7 for Dallas, and 12 with Denver. What is going on, Patrick Mahomes? If I'm trying to win fantasy football, I can't do it with Patrick Mahomes. I got Matthew Stafford. I can't rely on him either. So that's why I had to pick up Taysom Hill, and they're going against the Jets. But I have this weird feeling if I do Taysom Hill, he's going to play bad. Not that the Jets are going to win, but fucking A, man, you never know. That's why we call this the NFL. Mob Squad said the team that has surprised me the most this season is the Washington football team. Because you thought that they were going to be better? Or what do you mean by that? Explain further, Mob Squad. Marcos Pineda, gang, 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 fire, fire, fire. 12th man in the building. Merry Christmas from Marcos Pineda, the 12th man. One of my best friends that I've known for like 20, 25 years. Big Blazer fan, big Beaver fan, and a big Seahawk fan. My dude, I'm drinking a cold one for you. Let's see here. Air Whitey. Could you imagine if Curry puts up 16 three-pointers and broke the record for career three-pointers made? Jesus, I'd be pissed if that happened against my team. Not really, because, I mean, let's be honest. Curry is so great. He's arguably the best shooter of all time. You know, we had Larry Bird. You had Craig Hodges. All right. You know, you've had all these guys, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen. I mean, you have all these guys that have been known as great shooters, either in the three-point contest or just in general, like Reggie Miller and Ray Allen. But if you really look at shooters, I don't think there's anyone close to Steph Curry. And the guy that's closest to Steph might be on his own team in Klay Thompson. I mean, we're talking about guys that can shoot the ball and shoot it well, shoot deep, shoot with accuracy, shoot off one foot, shoot blindfolded, shoot left-handed, shoot behind the back. I mean, if we're talking about guys that can shoot the three, I mean, you got underrated guys like Joe Ingles, you know, on Utah. You never really know what you're going to get with him from game to game. But Steph, I mean, he might be the greatest shooter that the NBA has ever seen. I mean, that's a debatable thing, but it definitely could be Steph Curry. Bang! Air Whitey, $5 for the Curry air ball. Hey, I know you love that. All right, Odin's Child. Hacksaw Jim Duggan posted his video stating he's cancer-free. Oh, you know I love Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, man, I haven't seen him in quite some time. I know a lot of these wrestlers, you know, they start getting, PEDs, steroids, cocaine, heroin, alcoholism, you know, depression. I mean, they go with pills and Oxycontin, and they just go through all of these things. But it's good to hear that Hacksaw is finally turning the corner. Appreciate that. Odin says, hi, Holly. I say, hey, Odin's Child, hope you are well. Let's see. Christine says, Washington will head to the playoffs. No Chase Young. So I don't know if that's really possible if they're going to make the playoffs, but they're definitely in the running. The YouTube algorithm is messed up. I never get notifications when you're going live, but I appreciate that you found me, going live. And like I said, this was kind of last minute. I didn't do a post. I mean, if you check Twitter and Instagram or Facebook, I usually do notifications like, hey, I'm going online in 30 minutes or I'm going online today. But yeah, the algorithm is messed up. And the thing that makes me the most frustrated is that when people sub and they want all the notifications and then they don't even get it, it's like, I don't understand why that they're so against me. It's like, okay, if you want to give all the views to other YouTubers, that's fine, but at least let my subs get the notification and let them decide if they want to hop in the room or not. You know what I mean? Let them decide, not YouTube deciding for me or for the person that's subbing like Holly Hundo. Appreciate you guys very much for coming through. Orion, is the end of Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll era? Yes, it is. I think Russell Wilson and the New York Football Giants is almost a match made in heaven. You know, if you get Russell Wilson over there, Pete Carroll needs to be fired. Russell Wilson, you need to go somewhere else. I mean, you're getting to a point where I don't think you want to be in Seattle anymore. He might not publicly say it because he doesn't want to become the villain of the NFL, but I think it's very clear. If you have him, a healthy Saquon Barkley, you keep beefing up the offensive line, keep beefing up the defense in that division, Russ could end up making a run in the playoffs, winning the division, and then trying to get to the NFC Championship game before his career is over. So I feel that if it ends up happening, you heard it here first, but I think the normal destination would be the Giants because it's New York. All right. If it's not LA, it's got to be New York because of him, Sierra, the other opportunities in Hollywood or in New York, for marketing. And obviously New York is like the Mecca besides LA for marketing. So I think that Russell wants to go to a bigger location. Maybe the Chicago Bears would be a good location too. I could see Russell playing somewhere like, that and actually, making a name for himself. But then it depends if Aaron Rodgers is in the division because then you're going to have to go against him. But, it's not like Russell Wilson gives a shit about Kirk Cousins or Jared Goff. So, I mean, as long as you get into the playoffs, that's all that matters. But I think Russell would look good in Chicago. I think he would look better as far as a New York Football Giant player. But I know you're a big Seahawk guy and you don't want to hear that. But one of them's got to go or both of them have got to go. It's got to be a time to rebuild. Are you going to find someone better than Russell Wilson right away? No. Are you going to find someone better than Pete Carroll? Probably not. But everything comes to an end at some point and you're going to have to move on. So don't be surprised if one or both are gone. If you're going to want to keep one, I definitely would keep Wilson, but he might not be your choice because Wilson might be disgruntled, even though that's the one to keep. Pete Carroll's old as shit. I love his mentality, though, as a coach. He's a player's coach. He's young. He likes to have fun. He's a player's coach. The players love him, but John Schneider and him have drafted absolutely dog shit after the Legion of Boom and their Super Bowl run. You didn't address the offensive line. You started getting wide receivers when you didn't need them. You didn't address the secondary or the defensive line. Shame on you. You know what I mean? If you would have actually had a good GM, good ownership, Seattle still might be one of the top 5 teams in the NFL, and Russell might not want to leave. And that's big facts. Let's see here. Holly Hundo. Seems like the media is building up Mac Jones and the Patriots to claim a new NFL dynasty. What do you think? Way too early for that. I mean, the guy threw for 3 passes. I mean, what we need to be talking about is Bill Belichick and the defense. Defense wins championships. The offensive line and the defense is where it's at. But of course, Mac Jones is going to get all the love or the hate because he's the QB. He is not the next Tom Brady. All right. Tom Brady is in a whole another class of his own. If you want to say someone's Tom Brady, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, someone like that, or like a Russell Wilson. Mac has just started his NFL career. All right. But we might get New England Patriots, Mac Jones, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady. We might get that matchup in the Super Bowl. Obviously I wouldn't mind getting that matchup. Their defense is tough, but I think Tom, beating Bill in the big game would be big. And the same thing would go for Bill. If Bill gets there and he wins with a rookie quarterback over his old quarterback, that would be huge. A huge, uppercut to Tom, and obviously showing a big uppercut and a big middle finger to the rest of the NFL that Bill Belichick, whether you love him or you hate him, he did a lot of cheating. We know about this, but even past the cheating, it shows you he never needed to cheat. He just got so greedy with the wins that he just wanted to win at all costs, even if he got caught. But he's starting to show you, like Nick Saban, that these guys are so great that they don't need to cheat. All they need to do is just be themselves, and the rest will take care of, the rest will take care of itself. But like I said, it's a little early to call them a new NFL dynasty. You still got the Chiefs. All right. The Chargers are on the up and up. You got the Ravens, you got the Bills. But the thing about the Patriots, though, that I like the most is the coaching, the defense, and the offensive line. And those are arguably the 3 things that I love the most. Defense, offensive line, coaching. Those are the 3 things that I love the most. If you have those 3 things, it typically leads to Super Bowls. And that's big facts. Let's see here. Holly Hundo says, yes, what is going on with Patrick Mahomes? I don't know. Did Tampa Bay, give you the blueprint that, what needs to be done? I'm not sure if that's really the answer. I think a lot of people want to say that, but when you don't have consistent O-line play, okay? When you don't have a consistent running game, you need to have a Nick Chubb, a Jonathan Taylor, an Alvin Kamara. You need that. You had that, right, with a former running back that you had to kick off the team, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a mistake. He was great in college, but he's an RB2, RB3, a change of pace back, a guy that fumbles a lot. He's not the guy to, put the team on his shoulders. He's not that guy. It's very clear. But you got a guy like Creed Humphrey, who's arguably the best offensive lineman in the draft besides Penei Sewell from Oregon on Detroit and Rashawn Slater on the Chargers. But Creed Humphrey, at center, he's phenomenal. I mean, you could say he might be the best center in the league already as a rookie. So you do have some good things coming out of it, but also, too, Spags, the D coordinator, isn't doing a great job. You have, Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Honey Badger. You need more than 3 guys game in and game out. You know what I mean? So it shows you need more depth on defense. You need more offensive line help. And like I said, I don't know if it's Eric Bieniemy or what's going on, or maybe he needs to move on, even though we've touted him as like one of the best OCs in the last 5 to 6 years. Something needs to change. You know what I mean? And I hope Patrick Mahomes goes back to being that 3, 4, 5 touchdown Patrick Mahomes player. But maybe Patrick Mahomes needs more help than we really thought in the very beginning. We thought maybe Patrick Mahomes is the best player. He makes everyone better. Let's pump the brakes. Maybe Patrick Mahomes isn't Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, where those guys make everyone better, even the shitty wide receivers. Patrick Mahomes seems like he needs a running game and he needs a little bit of help. And maybe he's seeing ghosts, you know what I mean? Like Sam Darnold did on the Jets. After seeing Tampa Bay run him down in the Super Bowl, he hasn't been the same. Will he be able to bounce back? I do believe so. I love him a lot. He's really fun to watch. And whether anyone wants to admit it or not, the Chiefs, to me, are still one of my favorite teams to watch out of all the teams in the NFL. They play with passion. They play with pride. They're always going to be one of the top dogs as long as they don't have any big key injuries out of Mahomes or Honey Badger. They need to have their core guys healthy. But I'm hoping that they can end up getting back on top. And that's big facts. Let's see here. All right. Holly Hundo says, there have been criticism of Patrick's arm. He doesn't have as much control as he needs for a long-term NFL quarterback career. Pains me to say that. The thing is, though, is if you end up getting a better offensive line, remember when you guys ended up having Eric Fisher, all right, and people criticized him, and then you ended up having some of the other guys, right, that got injured last season. You had a few of them, right? You had to rotate the offensive line, and you're thinking, okay, can this guy play well? I'm going to go and take a quick peek here. All right, let me take just a quick peek on the Chiefs. And this will just take me a second. In 2020. I'm going to pull this up here real quick. All right, so last year, all right, so you had Eric Fisher, Austin Ryder, right, Andrew Wiley, Remmers. All right, let me go. Where's some of the bench guys on here? Can I get some more? I don't know why this is only pulling up this. Give me more team info. Come on, give me the Chiefs roster here. I want all the guys on the roster. I'm going here. Eric Fisher. I mean, that was a big one. There's one other guy that I wanted to go over, but of course it's not pulling it up. But as far as just the offensive line, you got these new guys that they're trying to gel. And when you ended up having the offensive line last year, they complained, everyone's injured. They're not that good. But one thing that they did have is they had continuity, right? And they had that passion, and they played together. They played hard. Now you picked up Orlando Brown and Joe Thuney, right? And you thought those guys are going to be so great. They haven't really lived up to their potential. You got the guy Creed Humphrey out of Oklahoma. He's probably the best offensive lineman on the team, and he's a fucking rookie. So I think that if you guys ended up having a strong offensive line, it's going to give Patrick more time, just like any quarterback. And then you need to be able to have a running game, because defenses right now are throwing 8, 9 in the box because they know that they're not running the ball. If they do a draw or, Bieniemy's kind of getting a little predictable at OC. So you need to be able to have an effective running back, but you need to be able to have that offensive line. So that way you have a balanced offense. So that way you run the ball, and then boom, Patrick with the play action over the top to Kelsey or Tyreek, touchdown, Chiefs, right? But what's happening is you're running the ball, loss of 1, running the ball, gain of 3, running the ball, gain of 4. And then you go for it, maybe on third down or fourth down, and then they already know what's coming. So you need to be able to beef up that O-line. So if I'm the Chiefs, you got to beef up that defense, but more importantly, keep beefing up the O-line and get yourself a stud running back. Because I think if you guys had Kareem Hunt and he was healthy still, we wouldn't be talking about Patrick Mahomes today. And that is big facts. Let's see here. Muzz Perp in the building. What to do? Justin Wills in the building. What to do? Why do good players always get hurt? Christine Connolly says, hey, it just happens. It just happens. He says, why do you disrespect Kirk? 25 TDs, 3 picks. Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk is a guy that, he can have the stat line, but sometimes the stat line is in garbage time. If you're already down by 20 points and you're throwing garbage TDs, that doesn't really designate that you are, the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's somewhere between like 11 and 20. But, some people like him, some people don't. Would I take him on Tampa Bay? Probably, I guess, I think I would rather have Carr over Cousins, but I would rather have Cousins over Baker. But, I like Tannehill probably the most out of those guys that are, past the top 10. But it is what it is. Uh-oh. PJ in the building. Your video looks so much smoother for some reason. Did you fix it? Well, I changed programs. I'm using StreamYard on this particular program. It's a little bit easier on my computer. You get to see this fat mug, and I got the, messages on the screen. So I figured I'd just try to switch it up. I did a reaction video on my OBS. I had some issues with it. It's a little bit harder on my computer. And I did the reaction video for the Eagles and the Jets. I got a $20 donation from my boy Prayer Man, so I wanted to hook him up. And the donations have been litty lit. Holly Hundo, $200. Let's see here. Sarah Small, 99 cents. $1. Air Whitey, $5. Alicio Lawan, $5. Sarah Small, $1. And also we got a $10 donation on the Cash App as well from my boy Terrence Harris. Appreciate you guys very, very much. But yeah, I like what it looks like. I mean, I'm going to end up using StreamYard here and there, but I like the smoothness. It's easier on the computer. I can pop up the messages on the screen. It's just a matter of my preference on what I want to use, and I can use either program. If I want the extra features, I got to pay for StreamYard. The other program I use, OBS, is free. So, depending on the donations that I get and, if I can afford to, pay the extra money for the, premier product for the StreamYard, I will do that. And plus, if I end up doing a collab with Grossi, Packers Bucks, I'm going to have to use this particular StreamYard. So, and that's big facts. Let's see here. Justin Wills in the building. So why is everyone saying the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl? Chiefs and Bills are way better. I disagree. Justin, have you been watching football lately? Remember when you guys started off 3-0 and you said that you guys were going to go undefeated, or you guys were only going to lose one game, and now you guys shit the bed and you're a horrible football team now? Injuries are a motherfucker, right? Sports karma is a bitch, and sports karma is a real thing, all right? The Patriots are winners of 7 in a row. They won a game with their quarterback throwing 3 fucking passes. Patrick Mahomes doesn't look like Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen and the Bills have no running game. The Chiefs don't really have a running game. The Bills' defense is a liability. The Chiefs' defense has gotten better over the few weeks. The offense for the Chiefs hasn't really been reliable either. You know what I mean? So if you really look at it, the Patriots might not have the firepower on offense with Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek, or Josh Allen and Diggs, Dawson Knox, and those guys. They got Mac Jones and a bunch of fucking supposed scrubs, right? Damian Harris and Stevenson and these other guys, but they're finding ways to win because their coaching right now is better. Their offensive line play is better. Their D-line play is better, and their defense is better. And that's why people are saying it might be Belichick and Brady, Patriots and Bucks in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So I don't know what games you're watching, if you're just doing it based off favoritism, doing it based off what the media says, but it's very clear the Patriots are the best team in the AFC. And then you got the Bucks and the Packers, to me, are the best teams in the NFC, with the Cardinals and Rams and Cowboys nipping at their heels. And that's facts. Let's see here. Let's see. Holly Hundo says, absolutely right, Orion. Hey, I watch a lot of film. And like I said, I told you guys would bounce back. And the defense, is starting to come up with pick sixes. But I don't know what needs to change. I don't know if Spags needs to be fired, or I don't know if Bieniemy needs to go. I don't think Andy Reid needs to go. But you definitely need a stud running back that's going to relieve the pressure, off of Mahomes. And that way Mahomes can be himself. Because if you don't have a guy that you can rely on getting 100 yards in a game, or at least 80, that's a lot of pressure. That means you're throwing 30, 40, 50 times. And if the defense knows that they can beat you on zone, cover two, man-to-man, dime, nickel, quarters, you play Madden, you understand, right? Then the defense cheats. And then they just already can anticipate. The D coordinators have been winning against Patrick Mahomes ever since the Super Bowl. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers kind of had the blueprint, but also in reality, how many teams have a depth or a defense like Tampa Bay? JPP, Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, Devin White, Levante David. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of teams don't have a front seven like that, and it shows you. They really need to put it together, and I'm hoping that they can. Orion, how do you feel about us firing Joe Brady? It needed to happen, but I don't know if it was really his fault altogether. Run CMC injured. Obviously Sam Darnold didn't really play up to his potential. Had a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball. Maybe Joe Brady will go back to college. I still think that he's a good play caller. It just didn't work out. Just didn't work out, man. Let's see here. Holly Hundo says, yes, we need more of a running game. I also wonder about Mahomes not being the same as he was last season. The defense has kicked ass. The defense has definitely stepped up. And that's what you guys needed, because just imagine if the defense didn't step up, you guys would be in a world of hurt. The record would not be where it is today. And like I said, I have him in fantasy football, and I think I picked him in the third round. And people kind of laughed at me. They were like, why did you pick Mahomes? Because I thought that he was going to play like an MVP player this season. I really did. And even though he didn't, I picked Matthew Stafford also just in case. And then I had to pick up Taysom Hill and some of these other people that are out there. But, it is what it is. But the title of the video is Drink Beer, Ask Questions, Holly Hundo. So those that are still up, join the NFL Q A. Anything goes with Orion. Drink beer, ask some questions. Sarah Small and Holly Hundo might be the only two people like on Twitter that when I'm online and, they know that I'm online, that they promote the channel to get more people to come. I can't stress how important that is for a smaller channel like me, because it just seems like, to be a big channel, that means you're over 100K subs. So even though I'm not at 50K, I'm not at 100K, I'm only at 20. It's really hard to get to that number. A lot of people don't even get to 100 and they quit before that because it's so hard. But that little type of extra support, it really, really goes a long, long ways. And I appreciate you guys very, very much. So I'm trying to go back and remember. All right. So Holly Hundo, you can remember. So name off in the chat your offensive line. And normally for me, I know everything about the NFL, but every once in a while I'll have like a brain fart. So you had Eric Fisher, and then there was another really good lineman for whatever reason. Maybe it's the beer. I had a long day at work today as well. But who was considered the second best lineman on your team last year? And he got hurt just like Eric Fisher did at the end. Comment in the chat. I mean, like I said, Odin Child's in there too. I don't know why I can't think of his name at the moment. But obviously having those two guys out definitely did you guys in the Super Bowl in that big run. Let's see. Hey, Orion, can you send me the link on Insta for the sports games? I want to catch the Kings game as well. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Sorry I didn't get to that earlier. I know you sent that about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, let me send you the link, bro. I got this. So if you guys need any games, my boy Prayer Man, I did the video for him. He said, no problem, brother. Keep up the great work. Oh, I'm sorry. Odin's Child, man. All right. Type it in the chat. Hold on, let me do this really quick because I like to take care of people. So let me do this here real quick. And we can all thank Zini Panini for this link because this has really helped me for college football, even though I pay for cable, but college football, NFL, hockey, pretty much anything that you want to watch sports, NBA wise. Let me see here. Air Whitey. Let me find you. We talk almost on the regular, so that's always nice. Where are you, dude? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you, Air Whitey? Dr. Almond Green, right? I believe that's that. So let me go here. All right, I sent it to you, Air Whitey. If that, I think I sent it to the right person, the Dr. Almond Green. So hopefully that was the right one. I just sent it to you, my dude. Let's see here. Creed Humphrey is the best center in the NFL now. No, I agree. He is the best one. Luke Birch. Okay, reach out to me on Twitter. I saw your message. Prayer Man, sup, homeboy. Keep up the good work. Do you think it's a quarterback controversy in Philly? I don't know. We already know that, we already know who the man is. We already know who it is, but it's nice to be able to have a guy step in like that, with Mustache Minshew, Gardner Minshew, and play like that. Shout out to you for the dono. And like I said, I was going to do the video yesterday, but again, it was just too choppy. I tried doing it after work and it was choppy again. And I was going to message you. And then I was like, damn it. I really want to do these reaction videos, but I can't have the video be choppy. And then I made some adjustments. I deleted a lot of shit on my computer. Seemed like it freed up some memory and some speed. And then I was able to do it. So yeah. And the thing is a lot of people want to give up on the quarterback, but don't give up on the quarterback. If you're going to let anyone go, Sirianni's got to go. I mean, it took him this long to figure out that you need to run the football to win games. You know what I mean? I don't think he's the guy for you. I mean, I think he has some Philly type of personality that to be able to handle the media. He's not the guy. He's the guy that's going to get you to the guy that's going to get you to the NFC Championship game or at least win the NFC East. He's like the guy in the middle. He's like not the rebound. It's like, you have a girlfriend or boyfriend and you break up and then you have a rebound. Sirianni's the rebound. He's not the long-term girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. You know what I mean? He's just the guy in the middle. It's unfortunate to say, but he's not the guy. But I think that, there is no quarterback controversy. Stick with who you got. And with all these first-round draft picks, if you hit on them, things are going to be very, very delicious in Philly, just like those Philly cheesesteaks. And that's big facts. Do you think Darnold and Dwayne Haskins deserve another shot somewhere? Darnold, yes. Dwayne Haskins, no. Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins might be the two worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, I know there's other guys out there like Nathan Peterman, but even Nathan Peterman is better in my opinion. I mean, we saw him throw all those picks, back in the day, like Matt Schaub, pick six. But I don't have any confidence in Haskins. I think Darnold in the right system could work. But again, if you have Run CMC not playing, you don't have Mike Davis anymore. Chuba Hubbard's okay, but the offensive line didn't really play good. You have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson was yelling at him. Defense wasn't healthy. You lost Horn, at the very beginning of the season, who could have been like Patrick Surtain. You know what I mean? You had a lot of adversity, but Darnold in the right position could succeed. Maybe if he went to New England, in that scenario. I always kind of go to New England because they have the discipline, but Dwayne Haskins will never be anything in the NFL. He's straight trash. I don't like to say those words usually that often, but he is booty. He is booty-O's. Luke Birch in the building. What to do? Justin Wills saying a comment that obviously shows that he is crazy. Oh, Ryan, we're still making the playoffs. You are not making the playoffs, my dude. You are not. Gavin Hill. Hey, you back. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Hopefully everything is good. Good to see you, man. Man, it's been a while. Man, these Saints fans finally starting. Ian Book, I've been saying starting, but I go Trevor Siemian. I know he's got a lot of experience, but the thing is, dude, with Ian Book, I mean, at Notre Dame, I mean, what do you really expect from him? He's not that good. You know what I mean? If you don't have AK-41, you're not winning games. So, I mean, if you go Taysom Hill, he gives you the best shot. He's going to throw a lot of picks. He's going to fumble. He's going to make a lot of mistakes. Simeon's kind of like Teddy Bridgewater, like a poor man's Teddy Bridgewater. He's only going to give you so much. Sometimes you need to go with guys that give you a little bit more athleticism and a little bit more risk. You got to take the risk, no risk it, no biscuit, as Bruce Arians said. If you notice with Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, right, even at age 43 and 44 last year and this year, right, when we played the Packers and we played the Raiders and we went deep right before halftime, any other team that Tampa's ever had would never do that. We would just run the ball or knee the clock out and then just go to the locker room. But sometimes you need to risk it for the biscuit and then to be able to go deep and take chances. And if you have the personnel to do it, it can help you win a Super Bowl. I'm telling you, if we didn't do that play with Tom Brady and Scotty Miller and go deep against the Packers, we probably don't win that game. That gave us that Uncle Mo and gave us that momentum, going into, obviously, the NFC Championship game second half and then the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And that's big facts. No BS. If it's Pats Bucks, there is a chance that I won't watch. Oh, Luke. Come on now. Why? Because the Bucks are going to win? Bottoms up. Carnitas. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see here. Orion, is it time for the Panthers to trade CMC for Russell Wilson or a top-tier O-lineman? No, because you're not going to trade CMC because I don't think anyone wants him because he's injury-prone. He's a top running back in the league when he's healthy. He's never healthy. It's like Dalvin Cook. You're number 2 in fantasy. You're never healthy. That's why people go Derrick Henry, and he got hurt this year. AK-41 got hurt. Dalvin Cook got hurt, right? Run CMC got hurt. That's why at the 5th pick in the draft, I could have went Jonathan Taylor, which I probably should have. I could have went Austin Eckler. I could have went Zeke, but I went Devontae Adams because I know I could pick up other running backs, and I got Najee Harris. I got Cordarrelle Patterson. I got Josh Jacobs, and I got Darrell Henderson on fantasy. So, sometimes those top-tier guys, they just can't stay healthy. And you got to be able to stay healthy to be able to do anything, in the NFL, and that's big facts. Won't be able to put up with the media leading up to a Pats-Bucks game. Yeah, I know. They're going to be talking about it left and right. That's facts. Everyone and their mama hurt on our team. If we throw out Book, he'll get hurt out there and it'll ruin his confidence. Keep Book not activated. I agree. Marcos Pineda, shout out to the Portland Timbers. I know they keep going to the championship game like every single year. I'm not into soccer at all, but I can appreciate, the Portland team doing big things, and that's big facts. Let's see here. Mitchell Schwartz. See, I don't know why the hell I couldn't remember that. I always am really good with offensive linemen's names. For whatever reason, I'm like, Eric Fisher, who was the other one, right? It was Mitchell Schwartz. So it kind of showed you when people were getting on Mitchell Schwartz for the age and obviously Eric Fisher not being the number 1 pick that we thought he was going to be. Now, when you go back and look, it's like, yeah, you got Joe Thuney and Orlando Brown, but if you could end up having those guys, from last year on the team, and if they were still productive and not hurt, sometimes that continuity is better than the talent. Talent can only get you so far, but if you play together, sometimes talent isn't going to win the championship. It's all about people that play together and that, bring in that best out of each other and being coached up. Because remember, it's 11 on 11, not 5 on 5. That's big facts. I'm glad that you brought that up because Mitchell Schwartz. Tommy Townsend play O-line. Hey, Tommy's stud. Tommy is a stud. Let's see. Yeah, Tommy can play anything. I agree with you with everything you said about Philly, bro. Hey, I do my research. You know what I mean? I do my research. I know what I'm talking about. I try to go through the ins and the outs. And, it just depends on if you watch the film and you know what you're talking about with that. But some people watch the film. Some people don't. Bang! Holly Hundo, you were amazing. Thank you so much. Like I said, this stream was so late minute, unexpected, and then you get the appreciation and the support. You are the MVP, seriously. Holly Hundo, bang! Can you believe this? So we already had. Let's go back and show the love, because I know, obviously you mod for Grossi and you mod for me, and I just love and appreciate everything that you do. So first you get something like this, right, where you don't really get this from very many people out there, which is amazing. Odin's Child, has dropped some big ones. Shep, has dropped some big ones. So boom, that is already far and beyond, right? What you need to do, you know what I mean? Like any donation is such a welcoming thing, right? So you do this, and then on top of that, after you do that, then you just got to make my day, right? And then do that. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Holly Hundo with another 200. Are you freaking kidding me? Thank you. And you know what? It means a lot because the last few streams, I won't lie, have been kind of low. You know what I mean? And stuff. And it's like the subs have been low. The people in the room have been a little bit lower than normal. The donations have been a little bit lower, and it's just awesome to be able to feel appreciated and to be able to make up maybe for the last couple streams that, maybe I didn't get to that number. And like I said, it's not like I have an outrageous number every stream. It's usually like 50 likes and $50 in donos, depending on who's in the room. And then if we can get to 100 and 100, great. But it's not like I go into every stream like, oh, I got to make $500 or $1,000. It's never like that. Thank you so much. I mean, it means so much to me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Can you provide that advice to our Chiefs offense? Truth. Belichick seems to win no matter what. He's probably the most genius head coach in NFL history, as much as that pains me to say. I'm in the same boat, as a Buck fan. And I wasn't really a Brady guy. I was more of a Joe Montana, Peyton Manning guy, right? So when I see Belichick and the cheating, Spygate, Deflategate, I hated Belichick. I hated Brady. I hated the Patriots, and I didn't like the Cowboys. So I'm really like every other NFL fan that's not a Cowboy fan or a Patriot fan. Those are two of the most hated fan bases. If you're not a Cowboy fan and you're not a Patriot fan, you don't really root for those teams. You know what I mean? Some of the fan base are kind of douchey. Some of them are cool, but there's been a lot of like douchey Cowboy fans and kind of douchey Patriot fans, hopping on the wagon, hopping on the Brady success and whatnot. But now you're starting to see, even post Brady, it looks like as long as Belichick is there, or even Nick Saban's in Alabama, like, are we ever going to get anyone else to win? Like on the NFL side, yes, because it's so competitive. But as far as Alabama and Saban, like I thought Georgia was going to do it this year, and they still have a chance if they can beat Michigan. And obviously Alabama needs to beat Cincinnati, but I think we really need to state like how great those guys are. Andy Reid is fantastic. Bruce Arians is great. We have a lot of other coaches that are great, but they're not Belichick and they're not Nick Saban. And that's fact. So I'm hoping at some point that you guys get your stud running back, get that Kareem Hunt that doesn't have the legal troubles. Get that Christian Okoye. Get that Jamal Charles. I mean, can you imagine if you guys had Jamal Charles right now? All this Patrick Mahomes talk would be out the window because you'd be able to hand the ball off 18, 20, 22, 25 times, right? You would be able to hand the ball off so many times that Mahomes wouldn't have to force it to Tyreek in double coverage. He wouldn't have to go to, Travis Kelce in a post route with the safety over the top and throw a pick. It's like, I get it. Sometimes you turn into to Cam Newton, the Superman, where you feel like you have to do everything. And when you turn into that player where you feel that you have to do everything, that's when the mistakes happen. You start throwing the football more. The defense counteracts it. All right, they start throwing 8 or 9 in the box. They start playing you man-to-man because they know that they're going to blitz and get to you. They sack lunch you. Yum, 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 yum. They get picks. Maybe Mahomes gets pressured and you have a tip pass. That's maybe the wide receiver's fault. So everything kind of falls into line when you have a good O-line. And at least on the bright side, you guys played kind of shitty at the beginning. Well, in the beginning, it was pretty good. In the middle of the season, it got shitty. And then you guys are starting to find your rhythm, and you're starting to be able to find the defense. They're starting to actually play out there because, with Mahomes going 3 and out, the defense got tired. And obviously he was pressing, he was making mistakes, and the other team was taking advantage. And we haven't really seen Mahomes play so poorly, right? And then we saw the Raiders game, and we thought, oh, they're back. They're not fully back yet, and they're still winning games, and that's really what matters. A dub is a dub, but to be able to get back to the Super Bowl and get to the AFC Championship game, even as bad as they've been this season, they're still, in my opinion, out of all the teams right now, they're the second best team in the AFC. You know what I mean? So even though they had that chunk of the season that was kind of poor by Mahomes, if they can just find their rhythm and find some kind of running game, all right, and the offensive line with Creed Humphrey can just ball out, right, and they can find a way to get 80 to 100 yards a game running on the ground, the defense will do their job, all right? They'll find a way. Tyreek, Kelce, you know what I mean? And maybe Sammy Watkins leaving will hurt him a little bit as well, for the locker room and just having that other guy there. But like I said, it shows you the Buffalo Bills are in a worse position than you guys because, they got Josh Allen and they got Diggs, right? You can make an AFC Championship game, but the Buffalo Bills don't have a running game. Matt Breida, not good. All right, Devin Singletary, not good. Zach Moss, probably the best one out of the 3, and I don't really think he's that good. They're all like RB2, RB3. So I know Bills Mafia, they're like, we're awesome, we're the Bills. You're not that good. You know what I mean? Like your offense is good at times. The defense is good in spurts. But I would take the Chiefs any day of the week over the Bills. I'll take the Chiefs over any team in the league right now on the AFC side, except for maybe New England right now because New England's on that 7-game win streak. Their O-line and their D-line and their defense and their coaching right now are just a little bit better than Kansas City. And if we end up getting Kansas City and New England in the AFC Championship game, the way that New England's been playing, they'll probably be favored. But when you got a guy like Patrick Mahomes, Eric Bieniemy at the OC, you got Andy Reid, you got Tyreek, you got Kelsey, you got Honey Badger, you got Chris Jones. Who you got? Chris Jones, Frank Clark. You got pieces, Anthony Hitchens and these other guys. You got L'Jarius Sneed. You got guys. You just need to have them play together. And I'm hoping that we can get the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And I won't lie, I still want Bucks and Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. I think it would be entertaining. I think people would love it. But, I mean, if New England keeps playing the way that they're playing and Green Bay keeps playing like they're playing, or the Cardinals or the Rams, maybe the Chiefs don't get there this year. Maybe the Bucks don't get there this year. But I still have to have a little faith that your team, Holly Hundo, the Chiefs Kingdom will get there. And obviously the Bucks will get there. And hopefully we can have a rematch. I know it's tough, because we know rematches in a Super Bowl just doesn't happen in the NFL. But if anyone could do it, it's your team and it's my team. And that's big facts. Gavin Hill, Bucks defense or Rams? Bucks. Come on now. Holly Hundo, appreciate you very, very much. Everyone asking you if you were a millionaire. Oh, you know what I mean? You guys got to stop it with that. You know what I mean? The thing is like, you know, when you see that type of thing, if you actually go to other people's streams, you know what I mean? Like for Grossi, for example, you know, with the fan base that he has, the donations that he gets things like this on the regular, and he earns it. You know, he deserves it. You know what I mean? He's got a puppy Sinclair that's sick, and he's a really good person that gives back to charity, gives back to the fans. You know, I'm just trying to follow in those kind of footsteps as well. And I know it's kind of crazy for people like Justin Wills. You probably never have donated to me ever. So when you're seeing, you know, someone throw out 200 and 200, you know, it's something that hopefully it motivates some of the other people in the room that, you know what I mean? That, you know, I do work hard. I am loyal to the fans. I appreciate you guys, but you know, the talent level, the hard work, the dedication, you know, I might not be at 100K. I might not be at 200K. I might not have 2,000 people in the room like Grossi, but that doesn't mean that I have a shitty product or I don't put on good streams. Just because YouTube isn't pushing me doesn't mean that I'm not going to make it to a big plateau, you know, sooner than later. So, hey, and you never ask a woman her job or her age. Come on, Justin Wills. Come on, my dude. Luke Birch, Joe Montana is the GOAT. I really love me some Joe Montana. Let's see here. Holly, Andy is good, but Belichick is on a different level, which hurts to say. He's a smart coach. He can take any quarterback out of the draft and turn them into a star. Well, the thing about Chiefs and Angels is that Belichick gets the most out of his talent in the NFL. I mean, any player that is a 4th rounder, 5th rounder, 6th rounder, 7th rounder, undrafted, it's the Patriot way. You know, and the Patriot way does include some cheating from time to time, but he has the discipline and he has a standard that you guys have to hold the team to. And Tom Brady has that same standard. You know, when he came over to Tampa Bay, it's not like, oh, hey, we're trying to win 10 games. It's like, no, we're trying to go to the fucking Super Bowl and win. Stop acting like the season's over in October when I had Jameis Winston and these other quarterbacks, because that's what it was. After October, it was like, oh, well, I guess, you know, what's for dinner tonight? Are we going to Red Lobster? Like, you know, everyone was thinking about dinner, going to the club. You know, they weren't thinking about like, how many games are we going to win? Or let's try to get to the playoffs. It's just like, you kind of give up. And if you give up on your coach, you give up on your quarterback, you give up on your team, then you're going to have a situation like my Tampa Bay Buccaneers where you're just shitty for 10, 11 years straight. So I think Andy Reid isn't that far back from Belichick. But Belichick is kind of in a category of his own. But like, you know, Andy Reid, you know, Bruce Arians, there's a few other guys up there that I really do respect. You know, you got the Sean McVays and the Kyle Shanahans that are kind of on the up and up. You know what I mean? But there's not a lot of guys out there. Pete Carroll has won a Super Bowl. McCarthy's won a Super Bowl. But I mean, if you really, really think about all the guys in the NFL now, Belichick has won a lot of fucking Super Bowls. And if it's not him, it's fucking Tom Brady. And Tom Brady is essentially the 4th coach on my team. Bruce Arians, Byron Leftwich as my OC, Todd Bowles, my defensive coordinator, and then Tom Brady as the 4th coach. And that's big facts. So I still believe in you guys. I still believe in the Chiefs. I still think that they can do big, big things. I genuinely believe Mac Jones would have been a bust with 31 of 32 teams. I disagree. It just depends on the roster and what you had been able to do with him. But the one spot that he would have been able to succeed was New England. The other spot I think he could have succeeded is San Francisco. You know what I mean? But obviously with Trey Lance and Jimmy G, you know, and having, you know, Obviously, George Kittle and a lot of their personnel get injured. They have a last place schedule. They were supposed to make the playoffs this year, but I think it has to be a mind, a football mind, a good play caller. So, depending on where he went, like Nagy on Chicago with Justin Fields, that's a nightmare. Zach Wilson and Saleh, that's not really a good fit either. Urban Meyer should get fired. Trevor Lawrence, you know what I mean? But Mac Jones had the best, coach. And then obviously getting Judon in free agency, getting Kyle Van Noy to come back. They don't even have Stephon Gilmore, a top 2 corner, and they're still on a 7-game win streak. That shows you they're not afraid to get rid of guys like Chandler Jones or Stephon Gilmore when they're still in their prime, because they know they can take the next guy, the J.C. Jackson, and he can be the next Stephon Gilmore. So I think that's the difference, is that they develop talent and the discipline is on a whole nother level. Saban and Belichick are on a whole nother level with the discipline and a whole nother level, with the commitment to the team. And it shows. And if you don't know about Belichick's story, he coached with Bill Parcells as a D coordinator with Lawrence Taylor in the 80s and the early 90s when they went to the Super Bowl. So it's not like Belichick is like some kind of scrub. He's probably the most genius defensive mind of all time. And I'm a defensive guy, I should know. And that's big facts. Let's see here. Chiefs and Angels. I just hope when Andy retires, Ryan Day is our next coach. Well, it probably should be Eric Bieniemy, to be honest, if he ends up staying there. Yeah, that's Ohio State's coach, Ryan Day. I don't know. I mean, to jump from college football to the pros, I would rather go with a guy that's already there, like Eric Bieniemy, personally. Luke Birch. Legit hope KC can put it together and make a run to the Super Bowl so we can finally get the State Farm Bowl at long last. I've been hoping to see the Bills, but that's not going to happen. Yep, that's facts. But think about this, Chiefs and Angels. You can almost put anybody at Ohio State and you're going to win games. You could put Urban Meyer there. You could put Tressel when he was there with the scandals. Now you got Ryan Day. I mean, you could put anyone there. You could put Mario Cristobal there, and he's going to win 10, 11, 12 games. It's the recruiting, and it's the fact that it's Ohio State. I mean, it's the most popular place to play that's not Alabama. Think about it. If it's not Alabama, and then you get LSU and Georgia and Clemson from time to time that are pretty good, all right, but what's the other constant? It's always, it seems like Ohio State. For the Big Ten. Michigan beat them this year. So Michigan and obviously, Harbaugh got the leg up. But I mean, if we're talking about a team that you could say, who's going to finish in the top 4, every year, Ohio State's name is always there because they have the recruits. You know what I mean? So it really doesn't matter if it's Ryan Day or, Danny Day, Jeffrey Day, Bobby Day, Orion Day. It could be any day of the week. The new day. All right. It could be any day. All right. I don't think he's really as great as you think. But I mean, he does have some skill set, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying the recruiting and just the fact of going to Ohio State with the prestige, that what it means to go there. That's why people go there. That's facts. And they know if they go there, they can go to the NFL. And they got a good track record. Zeke, Michael Thomas, they've gotten a lot of players that have really developed from the Ohio State University. Rodgers and Mahomes. Yeah, I know, man. Rodgers. I mean, we could end up getting Rodgers and Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That's big facts. Let's see here. Jared Kirk in the building. What to do? I haven't seen your name in the chat before. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel. If not, please do. Bill is great developing quarterbacks, but don't forget about Josh McDaniels. He's an OC mastermind. Absolutely. Belichick does the defensive side, holds them accountable. Josh McDaniels is a top 3 OC in the league, and he has been. It didn't work out in Denver, even though he had the whole Tim Tebow thing against Pittsburgh. But I think Josh McDaniels, he's just better suited as an OC. Maybe Eric Bieniemy is better suited as an OC, but I don't think anyone thinks that Josh McDaniels is garbage play caller. But also, too, it's not really that hard to hand the ball off 90% of the time and have Mac Jones throw for 3 passes. Okay. If you go 2 for 3 or 1 for 3, I've never seen a football game end that way. And that is big facts. Let's see here. Is Justin Wills being inappropriate again? What's new? I actually had to give young Nola for that particular account. I had to give him the boot temporarily. So I don't know if he'll make another profile or not. I just don't want to lose subs, lose viewership. lose donations on like negativity in the room. Negativity is like a wildfire. Even if you're trolling or you're just pretending or trying to be cute or trying to be funny, at some point, it's going to not only piss the mods off, it's going to piss me off, or it might piss off a future potential subber to my channel. And then they read these comments or seeing something that someone says. So, let's make sure that we respect every single mod in the building. Sarah Small, Holly Hundo, and a lot of the OGs like Odin's Child. I love you and I appreciate you. I'll talk to you on Twitter, obviously, after the stream is over. Like I said, I love to be able to have this Chiefs representation. It's awesome. You know what I mean? Because obviously that's one of the teams that I love watching. And I won't lie, out of all the teams in the NFL, after my Bucks, the Chiefs are my favorite team to watch out of any other team in the NFL, hands down. You know what I mean? Even if Mahomes is struggling, I like the roster. I like the O-line. I love Creed Humphrey. You know what I mean? I like Frank Clark, even though he's not reliable. I like Chris Jones. Honey Badger's my favorite on your defense, even though you guys got some other young talent that's going to be able to ball out, and that's big facts. So this show was initially supposed to be, I drink beer, you ask questions, and it seems like I'm asking more questions instead of drinking beer. I need to obviously spend some time with Paisley as well as my girlfriend. We were going to watch some shows together, so I don't want to ruin that. Obviously, I've been online now for about an hour and 25 minutes, and I ended up doing the Eagles and Jets reaction video. So I got 2 beers left. Obviously, I'll end up drinking these. I'll probably be online for another like 10 minutes or so. I would stay online for 2, 3, 4 more hours, but I want to make sure that, I get a little TV time in, spend some time with the puppers, and spend some time with my girlfriend as well. So let me take a little sip here, drink some beer, ask some questions. Nothing like drinking 2 beers at the same damn time. 2 chains. All right, let me see here. God, I love doing live streams. When I do reaction videos, it's cool, but it's like I can't interact with the fans. Like someone can leave a comment and then I can respond to it. But there's nothing like the live streams. And Holly, I saw your comment on Twitter, and that's something that I sometimes do as well. So it's like, once you watch a live stream, or once a live stream ends, you want to go back in the chat. You want to be able to see like the donations and see like the interaction, see the comments and kind of scroll through. It's kind of a cool thing to do. You're not the only one that does that. I know you do that with my channel. You do that with Grossi, and you do it with a lot of other YouTubers. And I really want to say like how much of an influence that you are, Holly Hundo. You are one of those special people on YouTube, because not only do you represent Grossi, not only do you represent me, him being over 200K subs, me being over 20K, but even for the smaller channels, for Chiefs and other things that you enjoy, you try to, give them a little push. You try to promote them. And I can really say that is awesome. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people are like you, to be able to help people, get to 20 subs or get to 100 subs, or if they're, doing a Chiefs chat and you're shouting them out. I think a lot of people, they don't do that. And I think it's awesome that people like Sarah and you do that. And it's awesome to be able to see you like retweet, my particular show and then add a comment, come on through and hang out. And even if it doesn't bring anybody, new to the show, at least you tried. And that's really what matters. You know what I mean? I'm trying to grow. YouTube isn't helping me out. My friends on Facebook aren't really helping me out. You know what I mean? It's like, I have friends, and some of them, some of them hate, I think, secretly, you know what I mean? Maybe because they don't have maybe something like a dream project, or, they don't have something. I think it's a lot easier for most people to hate than to congratulate and root for someone to win. And I'm always rooting for my friends to win. And I try to keep it real, with the mental health and the addiction and just all the problems that people are going through, or personal problems that I'm going through. But just the fact that, that you go above and beyond, Sarah and, Holly Hundo, I can't condemn you guys. You guys are awesome. It's like a breath of fresh air, being able to see people do nice things for each other. And I can't appreciate you guys. I can't even just explain how much you guys mean to me. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Let's see here. Chiefs and Angels. Miami is honestly a very underrated defense. The fact they stop the run every single play, the way they play their backfield, 3 men back and blitz, the defensive chemistry on that team is absolute. And they got a lot of draft picks. Javon Holland from Oregon is kind of like Honey Badger. And guess what? I play fantasy football. Guess who's on my team? The Miami defense. You know what I mean? I got Bucks defense, I got Miami defense, and I have a bye this week, and the Bucks play the Bills, so I don't really, want to go there. But I picked Seattle up for 1 week because they're going against the Texans. The Colts, Sarah's Colts, they ended up getting a shutout on them. So I got to hope that even though Seattle and their defense has no Jamal Adams and they're kind of shitty, Miami's defense is the real deal. I would have started them this week, but they have a bye. Hopefully Seattle can do their thing, but I totally agree. Miami is one of those up-and-coming teams. Same thing with the Chargers. Once they move on from Tua, that was a mistake. If you ended up getting Justin Herbert, imagine where Miami would be. They would be in the AFC playoff picture for every single year, because I think Brian Flores, coming from New England's coaching tree, with Bill Belichick is amazing. You just wait. Once they get a quarterback better than Tua, and they get a better running back, get a stud running back, stud quarterback. They got the wide receivers. They got some O-line. They got some defense. Give it time. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to be one of those teams that people are really going to be really excited to see. They're just, they just have too many holes, and Tua's not it. I am not sold on Tua. He's too injury prone. He's not the guy. You know how sometimes you see people on YouTube and they got it? Tom Grossi's got it, right? Some people think Orion's got it, right? You got the entertainment factor, you got the passion, the skill set. Tua don't got it. Tua had it in college, but this is the NFL and this is a man's game. And, you can't be playing a boys game in college in the NFL. And I just don't see it from him. I really don't. He's just too injury prone. I like lefties. It's cool to be able to see a lefty in the NFL, but Miami really fucked up by picking Tua over Justin Herbert. And that's big facts. If I have one wish for the NFL is to have a State Farm Bowl, as Luke alluded to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Luke Birch, he says, I want Paul Chris fired and Jim Leonard promoted. Holly Hundo says, Eric Bieniemy has been play calling the past few games after the first quarter and has not gone well. Beginning to understand why he hasn't got a head coaching job. Yeah, and I think also, too, whether people want to admit it or not, I don't think there's enough color, whether it be Black, African-American, Mexican, Latinos, or Asian, whether it be Chinese, Japanese, or Korean, there's not enough color out there as coaches. And I think that there needs to be more opportunities there. But regardless if Eric Bieniemy is African-American or Caucasian or any other race, I think with him, he's just a better play caller. But at this point, even the play calling hasn't really been that great. But I think the big part of it is that it's because of the personnel. The offensive line isn't really where it needs to be yet, and you don't have a good running game. You have Darrell Williams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and a few of these other guys, right? But they're not Kareem Hunt. They're not Jamal Charles. They're not Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. Once you guys have your guy, and then you can beef up that O-line a little bit, I think that the Bieniemy talk and the Andy Reid talk will get back to a norm. But when you don't have an O-line that you can count on, even though you have names, Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey's better than all of them, and he's a fucking rookie. You know what I mean? So that shows you something. Like Joe Thuney's supposed to be Pro Bowl from New England, but maybe they knew something a little early. Belichick gets rid of guys, right when he knows to get rid of them. So maybe he knew Joe Thuney was on a decline. Orlando Brown, we thought, what the hell were the Ravens thinking? Because the Ravens haven't been the same since Marshall Yanda retired. I kept telling, Hybrid, who's a big Ravens fan, I don't see the Ravens making the Super Bowl, let alone winning, until they beef up that O-line. They could have had J.K. Dobbins, but he got hurt, just like Cam Akers got hurt for the Rams, right? But if you don't have a good O-line, you're not going to win in football. That's facts. Let's see here. I'm scrolling through. Gavin says, man, Orion, my fish just drowned. Uh-oh. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Thank you, Orion. Thank you. Thank you. You know what I mean? Just the appreciation and just, and the interaction. And what I really love, too, it's like the donations are amazing. The subs are amazing. The views are amazing. But I like when fans interact. I found out there's people that actually watch the live streams, right? And they don't talk. They just watch. It's like, let me know you're in the building. Have a conversation with me. Have a conversation with all the amazing Fanatic family members that are in the room. That's the whole point of interacting with each other, where we can all be together, even though that we're all, over the country. So, like Will the Thrill is all the way in Scotland, and Holly Hundo is in the middle of the country. Orion is, in Oregon. So we have everyone kind of spread out. So if you're in the room, make sure you let me know. Say hello. You know what I mean? But I know there's just some people that are maybe shy or they just don't want to talk. But I would encourage you, talk. Let me know you're here. Interact with the people in the room. It's a fun chat. I mean, we talk about life. We talk about movies. We talk about depression. We talk about COVID, addiction, music, TV shows, Yellowstone, all kinds of great stuff. I mean, I'm looking forward to what Boba Fett. Obviously on Disney Plus coming up. I obviously watched the latest episode of Yellowstone, which is absolutely fire. Rip is a fucking animal. Love Rip. There's a lot of shows and a lot of movies coming up. We got Spider-Man coming up here pretty soon as well. So, I mean, we're getting really into a great point, and we're getting close to the playoffs. We got bowl games. We got NFL playoffs. And as you know, as an NFL fan, everyone that's in the room, I think that there's nothing better than NFL playoffs. And that's facts. Luke, you have the Bills before the Chiefs. I feel betrayed. Bills before the Chiefs? Come on. Let's see here. Can we get a Paisley cameo? Yes, we can. Let me see if she's awake. I think she is.
Hey, Blazer fans, make sure you download the McDonald's app because when the Trailblazers hit 100 points during any game this season, you can receive a free 6-piece chicken McNuggets the next day from your locally owned and operated McDonald's. Well, right now at the break, the Blazers down to the Warriors only 2 by 2 points. And that's a big reason why is because of Nasir Little's play in his first half. He already has 18 points, which is a season high. What have you seen out of Nas tonight?
He missed the game. He missed being out, and he's so happy to be back playing, and that's why he is the go-to player to have.
That's right.
Hey, we knew that the Blazers, we knew they missed his energy. We expected them to be active, Jamie, but I don't know if we expected them to have a game-high 18 points without missing a shot. And don't forget, return to sender insufficient poster with that weak dunk attempt, Jordan.
Say hello. Huh? Say hello. Woof, woof, woof. Say hello, baby. She's getting so big, huh? Oh.
Golden State up right now over the Blazers, 47-45. We've got second half action for you coming your way right after this.
Are you shy? Are you shy? Hey, look. 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 Look, it's you.
Save on stocking stuffers with Christmas food gift sets, plus slippers and winter socks. In electronics, save on a Lenovo Chromebook, a Philips 55-inch 4K Android TV, and so much more. Plus, find snacks and drinks galore. Okay. Find our latest savings book online and in store only at Weimar. Employee-owned, real value every day.
This year, let Ford help make your holidays even brighter. Get holiday ready with Ford. Get Ford Explorer, Escape, or EcoSport. Get 0 for 60 plus 500 bonus cash. Only at your local Northwest Ford dealer.
There is the cameo. She was a little tired. She was like, you know what I mean? I had to give it to you. Appreciate you guys. I remember when she was like that big. She weighs like 19 or 20 pounds now. I remember when we got her like 6 weeks old. I think she was like 5 pounds, 4 pounds. Yeah, anytime that if she's awake, I can definitely do a cameo for Paisley. Absolutely. Did you see that Chiefs fan that made the petition to bench Mahomes for Chad Henne? Come on, man. Mahomes is one of the greatest players to ever lace up the cleats. A little hardship, a little adversity, and then people just want to, throw him to the wolves. And yeah, it's been a pretty bad month, and a half besides like that Raiders game, right? You know what I mean? But let's not forget how the offense would look without Mahomes, like ever. I mean, you got to be really blessed, with the good, the bad, and the ugly. And like I said, I think it's more of a coaching thing, an OC thing, a head coaching thing, a defensive coordinator thing, a running game thing, an offensive line continuity thing. I mean, it's not all necessarily on Mahomes. Mahomes is always going to get the love and he's going to get the hate. You know what I mean? But if you dig deeper into the problem on why they're winning and losing games, it's very clear. The running game is non-existent. Same thing with the Bills. It's just not fucking there. And if you don't have a running game, it doesn't matter if you have Josh Allen, top 5 quarterback, or Patrick Mahomes, top 5 quarterback. At some point, if you're throwing the football 70% of the time, defenses are going to know how to combat that. And it shows. And then all of a sudden, you're throwing into double coverage, triple coverage, you're forcing the football. You're not making good decisions. You're forcing the football when you don't need to. And also it's up to coaching. You know what I mean? If you're winning the game, you pound the rock. But a lot of times when, people are down, like let's say 7 or 10 points, they abandon the run. And those teams that abandon the run, they lose almost 99% of the time. Yeah, you're only going to get 1.5 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, a loss of 3 instead of those big runs that you want. But sometimes you need to keep the defense honest. I mean, for someone like me that's 39, that I've been watching football since 1985. And, I would challenge anyone on any YouTube channel or anyone that's on TV or on a podcast based off football knowledge. The amount of film and the amount of reading that I put in on a daily basis. I mean, you have to be able to watch each team. Each team's problems are going to be different. What the Chiefs have is completely different from the Bills and a few other teams. They might have some similarities with the running game not being there. You know what I mean? But I think the Chiefs are far and above and beyond the Buffalo Bills. I mean, how do you lose to the New England Patriots when Mac Jones only throws the football 3 times? Not a good look. Luke Birch, bang! Legit so proud to call Holly a friend. Yeah, me too. But also, I'm happy to call you guys my friends too. You know what I mean? Like, it's just awesome to be able to have people that are loyal to the soil. You know what I mean? There's so much competition. There's so many people out there, doing, social media or YouTube for the wrong reasons. They do it for only the subs, only the views, only the money, or, they just, don't want to give back. And like I said, doing the fundraiser for David was probably one of the most touching, like, coolest things that I feel that I've done in my life. Also, when we had a friend that ended up, being homeless, D, she was living out by the airport and she was going to be homeless and she was living in a fucking hotel with her dog. And we ended up, having her live with us, with the dog. And we didn't know if we were going to be able to do it. And we had her stay with us for about a month for her to get on her feet. And then we got kind of puppy fever, and that's how we got Paisley. So it was all meant to be. Sometimes you need to have some kindness out of your own heart, whether it be with donations, whether it be, with charity, or just, checking up on people, checking up on friends. That shit is really important. Like, I always check up on my friends, usually once a week, a few of them. Do people check up on me? Not really. It's not really maybe their role to do so. But if you're a good, kind-hearted person, it really shows. And like I said, if Holly Hundo didn't think that I was a good person, or I had good intentions, or I had the talent or the passion, or she believed in me, she wouldn't donate the donation amount that she's donating, let alone maybe not at all. You know what I mean? So obviously it shows you when people believe in you, they're going to show you that they believe in you. And hopefully, when they do things like that, then other people will maybe start believing. And like I said, I can't appreciate you guys enough. You guys are freaking amazing. I love you guys and appreciate you guys very much. Let's see here. Brian Bulaga, stud. Tien Fan. All the excellent man marries to woman. All the good men are picked first by the woman. Tien Fan. Not really sure what that comment means, but shout out to you. Let's see here. I got to wait till January 1st, too, to watch the Fiesta Bowl. Yeah, we play Oklahoma, so, I mean, I don't know. It's like what? Mario Cristobal left. I mean, I'm a big Ducks guy. Anthony Brown looks like LeBron James, but he just sucks. He's not a good quarterback. We lost our head coach. I mean, the best case scenario for us is maybe bringing Chip Kelly back, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Realistically, probably not. But I'll tell you what, it would really fire up me, and it would really fire up the Oregon Duck fan base because we know Chip can recruit. He can recruit illegally, just like a lot of these other coaches can. You know what I mean? Like LaMichael James and DeAnthony Thomas. A lot of coaches and boosters cheat, and they do things that are questionable. If you think that your favorite head coach in college doesn't do something kind of shady, you don't know anything about college football and the boosters. I mean, there's all kinds of money and gifts and things that are going out, but at least the players now can actually get paid for their likeness, with like NFTs or different deals and whatnot, which is cool. But with that being said, there's still going to be boosters handing $100 bills to certain athletes and cars. And they usually try to stay away from the car thing now because you don't want to be like Maurice Clarett, and get some kind of like Hummer or SUV. And they're like, oh, where did you get that from? And they're like, oh, this is my mom's. No, it's not. You got it from an Ohio State booster. Stop it, and then you get yourself in trouble. Or with like Johnny Football, signing autographs under the table for a lot of cash and then denying that he did it, or he did it after, he was, left, obviously Texas A&M. So you got to be really careful with that. Let me see here. Let's see. Yep. Or perhaps grab Watson when the whole legal issues are up. Could be a different story for the AFC East. I'm not sure if you really want to touch Deshaun Watson. And obviously, the NFL is a what have you done for me lately type of league. And with the troubles that he had, if those allegations are true, obviously, if you have more than 20 females accusing you of a particular crime, not all of them are more than likely telling the truth, but it's probably pretty realistic that some of them are. And I'm not sure if we have a place in the NFL for someone that's like that. Yeah, you can throw the football. Yeah, you're a top 4 player. You know what I mean? But don't we take integrity and don't we take certain values to heart? Or are we just NFL fans and all we care about is wins and Super Bowls? I think that's really what it comes down to as a person. You know what I mean? If you just don't give a shit about Watson and his personal issues and you think that's not a big deal, that might say something about your personal character. You know what I mean? That you care more about the wins and a possible Super Bowl than actually having someone that would be a good mentor and a good leader on and off the field. And that's what I like for my heroes. I'm a big Ken Griffey Jr. guy. I only really have heroes and like my dad and Ken Griffey Jr., people that I look up to that are really great people. And that's big facts. Let me see here. Scrolling down, I see a lot of love from the Chiefs fans. Luke Birch and Holly Hundo. Chiefs and Angels. Fucking love it, man. The Chiefs need a reliable number 2 receiver. It's a glaring hole. I also agree we need a running back who can get 80 to 100 yards. Yeah, it's very clear. And obviously you do need another option, but think about it. You have Travis Kelce, who's the best tight end, and you have Tyreek, who's a top 2 wide receiver. So essentially you do have 2 receivers. Just one of them is a tight end. So it's not like you have Tyreek and that's it. You know what I mean? You have 2 guys that you can go to. But obviously with the others, after Sammy Watkins left, even Sammy Watkins wasn't really that reliable. DeMarcus Robinson and all these other guys that you have, Pringle, but like I said, if you have better offensive line play for run blocking, pass blocking, pulling, and a better running game, Pringle and Robinson and these other guys can step up and they could maybe be that second or third wide receiver. You know what I mean? But they are going to have to look at someone coming in, even like a Emmanuel Sanders type of talent, that went to Buffalo. If you can get a guy like that, maybe an aging vet to come over. But I would rather have you guys go for someone in the draft. If you can find a Creed Humphrey in the draft at center, I know that you guys could find like an Elijah Moore from the Jets on the Chiefs. And if you get someone that, maybe is slept on a little bit and you get him in like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, you got Mahomes. He can make them turn into a better football player. It's just a matter of getting that O-line and that defense and the coaching on the same page. And that's the big facts. DeMarcus Robinson. Yeah, Josh Gordon is no good. And even DeMarcus Robinson, he's kind of one-dimensional. He's only like a deep threat to me. He can't really run all the routes. Hands aren't really that great. Sammy Watkins was much better than those 2. But yes, I do agree. You do need a solid wide receiver 2 and 3, someone better than what you guys currently have. But I think addressing the running game and the O-line is more of a need, and as well as the coaching right now. Holly Hundo saw the pumpers. Yes, sir. In it to win it. How's your dad, Ryan? My dad's good. Obviously, he's got diabetes. He's getting a little bit older. I always worry about him in the older age, but I try to, keep in touch with him here and there. And I saw him for Thanksgiving, and we had a good meal. And I'm going to hopefully be able to see him for Christmas. I only get to see him usually a few times a year. Obviously, I'm vaccinated and, he's vaccinated. And obviously that was a big thing before, because before the vaccinations came out, I didn't really get to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving with him last year. But as of right now, he is doing well. There she is. My Paisley. Absolutely. Matt Payton from Hawaii in the building. What to do? Everybody loves the Paisley. Absolutely. Paisley is growing so fast indeed, Precious. Yes. I know. Fair weather fans. Jared Kirk said, I just wish Andy would run the ball more. Who's running the ball, though? If the offensive line isn't blocking, even Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I don't want to say it, but he's a bust. I mean, you know what I mean? For the round that you picked him in, you know what I mean? He's not developing like the RB1 that you thought he was going to be. Like, obviously Kareem Hunt is RB2 on Cleveland. And to me, he's a top 10 running back in the league when healthy. I think he's like the 10th best running back, 9th or 10th. You know what I mean? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he just fumbles too much. You know what I mean? He's just not the guy that can handle the pressure. Yeah, he was with Joe Burrow on LSU, and they, had one of the greatest college football teams of all time. Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall Jr. I mean, they had so many amazing weapons. Jamar Chase, right? But Clyde Edwards-Helaire is almost like he tricked you. You know what I mean? Like he capped out in college, and I still think that he could end up turning into an RB1, but he needs to take care of his body. The offensive line needs to get better, and he needs to really work on, the skills, that got him to the NFL. Because right now, I think he's a good change of pace back, but you guys need a Nick Chubb, a Jonathan Taylor, a Josh Jacobs. Once you guys get that player, then you guys are really going to take off. Same thing goes for the Buffalo Bills. Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. That team also needs a stud running back. And once the Bills get a stud running back, that's when they're going to make the AFC Championship game and go to the Super Bowl. That's just my personal opinion. That's big facts. Let's see here. Lane Kiffin signing an extension with Ole Miss. Good thing he's not the Oregon head coach. I know they were looking at who are they looking at? They were looking at like the Hawaiian Samoan coach from like BYU. He would definitely be able to bring in some Hawaiian and Samoan recruiting, which could be pretty good. He has Oregon State Beaver ties. He's got Northwest ties as well from Washington and Oregon. So that could be a possibility. I would love for Chip Kelly to come back. That would be my number one choice, though. Is it the right thing to do? Probably not, since he's already been here. And we already know if we get Chip Kelly, it would only be a rental for 3, 4, 5 years and he'll go somewhere else. But I mean, if we could just get a coach to stay for 10 years, it would be fantastic. But this is a business, just like the NFL. It's like you can't count on guys, staying forever. It just, they stay for a couple years and they either go back to their alma mater or they take another job. And then it's just like Oregon is kind of a leapfrog point to go somewhere else. Willie Taggart, remember him? He went to Florida State. How'd that work out for him? You know what I mean? So we've had a lot of coaches, but the sad thing is, and it kind of brought a tear to my eye, is like Mario Cristobal was my favorite coach since Chip Kelly. But I knew once Miami was calling, he would take that job. His brother is a police officer in Miami. His mom is sick in Miami. He went to school there with The Rock at the U. So, I mean, he's got reasons to go back there. He can turn that program around. He's not going to get fired right away. They'll probably give him a lot more time than Oregon would. You know what I mean? Even though Oregon is the bigger name, and maybe Anthony Brown in his shitty play was just like, fuck this, dude. I'm just going to, I mean, we have Ty Thompson and we have some other recruits coming in, but it shows you how important a quarterback is. And obviously, Anthony Brown is not Marcus Mariota. He's not Justin Herbert. He might be the worst quarterback we've had in 20 years. And it showed in that fucking Pac-12 championship game against Utah. And then the 2 weeks before then when we played. And the sad thing is that we ended up winning 10 games. We beat Ohio State at the shoe in Ohio State. We beat UW. We beat Oregon State. So it's a good year. But when we lost to Utah twice and we got embarrassed. So that's why and we lost our coach. So that's why people are pissed. So, it is what it is. I get it that Clyde isn't a stud back, but they're using him wrong. They need to run him inside the tackles and throw the ball to him. They're wasting him. But also the offensive line has to be there. They have to be healthy. And when they're not healthy and they're not pulling, they're not run blocking, they're not pass blocking, right? It's hard for Clyde to be able to do what his strengths are. And a big part about Clyde that I don't like right now, he's just got the fumbleitis. He just fumbles way, way, way too much. And then he gets hurt. So, I mean, he still has potential. But he needs to really get it together. You know what I'm saying? Who do you think is better, Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase? Well, right now, Jalen Waddle is supposedly in PFF is doing even better than Jamar Chase because Burrow has been struggling. I think both are fantastic. I think both are top 10, talent wide receivers. But I think if I had to choose one guy out of the two, I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards Justin Jefferson. I like A.J. Brown. I like Justin Jefferson. I like CeeDee Lamb. I like Jamar Chase. Those are the four that I really, really like. Jalen Waddle is pretty damn nice also. Olave in college at Ohio State will be the next one. But I think if I had to choose one guy between Chase, Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, or, those, clique of guys, I think I'm going Justin Jefferson. I'm thinking that he might be the most talented out of them all. That's the one that I would want. He's a game breaker. So is Jamar Chase. So is A.J. Brown. So is CeeDee Lamb. But I think Jefferson's skill set is top 5. And I think once, you get guys like Julio Jones retiring, and then you get DeAndre Hopkins to retire, there's going to be an opening for other guys to step up to take those spots. And Justin Jefferson is first on the list, in my opinion. Let's see what Jared thinks. He said Jefferson. He thinks like me. Chiefs, Jefferson. Yep. The fundraiser for David was super cool. Yeah. And like I said, it was pretty cool too, because we ended up getting a pretty, good bonus, from the company, the Saw Stop company that I work for. I just got hired on. So I'm not through the temp agency anymore. And I got like a couple $1 raise. They were only paying me like 15 or 16 an hour, because it's a temp agency. So I ended up getting about a $2-3 raise, which is nice, with all the bills and everything that I have going on. But I really enjoyed doing something, for someone else that no one else was going to do. And just to see the look on his face, and if you watch the video and the hug and everything, I mean, he's not a hugger, whatsoever. I even gave him my PS4 because his PS4 broke, but it sounds like things are getting back on track with him. And it made me feel really good. And when you do things like that, like, like Holly Hundo, when you do the donations to me, or you donate for the cause for David, or you donate to the cause for whatever Grossi's doing for the month, it's a cool feeling that that the hard-earned money from your job that you decide to donate rather than spend on yourself for like clothes or whatever you want. When you donate it to a good cause, it makes you feel really fucking good. I know it does for me. And I appreciate you. And you're one of the big contributors, of that $400. You and Shep donated more than $100 so you and Shepard pretty much combined for half of the amount. I threw in some money there myself as well. So, and we had a few other people donate, like Sarah Small. I appreciate you guys. Jameson Meza in the building. Tighten up. What to do? Chiefs and Angels. I absolutely love the community here. It's great. And like I said, I mean, some people, are kind of like, I don't want to say followers, but like, how some people go into a room and if they see 14 people in the room, they hop in and they leave. They're like, this chat ain't popping. Like, this isn't for me. Or if they go somewhere and they see 100 people in the room, then they hop in there and they stay in there just because the people are in there. But the cool thing about this particular, fan base, it doesn't matter if I have one person in the room or 300, you know what I mean? The conversations always stay the same. I always stay the same. I always try to acknowledge everyone. And like I said, you guys are the OGs, and then at some point, once I end up, either doing collabs or YouTube, stops hating, and I can end up getting like, let's say 50 people in the room consistently. That's a dream of mine. You know what I mean? To have 50 people in the room at all times. I'm just trying anything and everything. All I can do is just be consistent, put in good content, have a good fan base, interact with you guys. And I know it's going to happen sooner than later. But once I can get to 50 and 100, then I can start doing things where we can raid channels and help other people's dreams come true. We can end up doing, some donations, and we can end up doing some, fundraising and things like that. But I mean, at this point, I'm not there yet, but I know that we are going to get there. And I absolutely love the community here as well. Truth, Orion, I believe in you all. Great community. I will do whatever to help it grow. And I appreciate that. And like I said, just because, the numbers, the subs, might not be there, or the number of people in the room might not be there, or the views might not be there. That doesn't mean that the community sucks. That doesn't mean that the community isn't good or the chat isn't good. I mean, I feel that we put on a great product on every single stream. And like I said, it's better to have 5 really good friends than, 500 fake ones. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes in real life. So, at this point, it's a little bit lower of a number, but when you end up having fantastic people in your corner, like Holly Hundo, Sarah Small, Jameis Amazing, all you in the room, it really makes it worth it. I mean, like I said, I don't think there's any other channel on planet Earth that could make $400 or $500 with 12 people in the room. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anyone out there, gaming channel, sports channel, any channel out there that would be able to get support like that. You know what I mean? With the amount of people in the room. And that shows you that's true love and that's true support. And I really, really appreciate you guys very, very much. You guys are the freaking best. Let's see here. Mo Mize TV, Kelsey, best tight end, best right end of all time. And Kelsey's spelled wrong, but I imagine that's what you meant, tight end. He will definitely be in the conversation. Then you corrected yourself, tight. Okay. He definitely will be in the conversation. I think right now, Tony Gonzalez is the best tight end of all time. You got, obviously, Gronk has to be in the conversation as well. Shannon Sharp has to be in the conversation. Mike Ditka. I mean, there's a lot of guys, if you want me to go through all the names that are fantastic players. But when it's all said and done, yeah, I think that he will be in the conversation. Travis Kelce, that's facts. But as of right now, I think I got to go with the other Atlanta Falcon and Kansas City Chief. I think I got to go with Tony Gonzalez. That's my personal best tight end of all time. But if you can get him and Kelce in like the top 2, and they both played on the Chiefs, pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? Pringle, I have high hopes for. I still stand up for McCole Hardman, though that's not a popular opinion. I still like McCole Hardman, too. I mean, I think that is your number 2 wide receiver, and he's that deep guy. We just need to see some consistency. And obviously, if the offensive line and the running game is there, then Hardman can be the Sammy Watkins or be like that next guy. Pringle, Hardman, Robinson. I mean, it's a lot of good role players, but I still like Hardman, even though I know maybe Chiefs fans, some of them have given up on him. But, I mean, there's still plenty of time for guys to be able to, get better. Jared Kirk, I like Hardman, I really do, but he fumbles and drops entirely too much. Some of that's Mahomes' fault. Sometimes that's the O-line. Sometimes that's McCole Hardman. But a good case is Nelson Aguilar. Remember when he was on the Eagles and everyone just hated on him? There was people in the news where they said if they had a fire and then they had a baby and they had to drop it down to Nelson Aguilar, that they wouldn't drop the baby down to save it. That's what they were saying in the Philly news. That's how much they hated Nelson Aguilar's hands. All right. Then what did he do? He hit the jug machine hard. He worked hard on his route running, right? Then he ended up going to the Raiders, and he was the silent MVP for their team last year. I mean, he really made them good with Waller and Carr. No one talked about him. I had him in fantasy. I do the stats. I saw what he did. He was scoring a touchdown almost every game. Okay. So just because you struggle doesn't mean that you can go through those hardships and you can find your way on the other end of the tunnel. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now he's on New England. And obviously he's not getting the same type of reps that he was with Carr, but that's a great example of someone that was just shit on, forgotten, written off, right? And I root for guys like that. You know what I mean? Because I feel I'm that guy. I'm that guy that's kind of slept on. I'm the guy that's forgotten. I'm the guy that, you see all these other YouTubers out there at 50K, 100K, 200K. I feel I'm just as good as them. I just don't have the numbers yet. But that's not going to discourage me and complain and quit. And that's just facts. You just got to keep working hard. Air Whitey. AJ Dillon better than CEH. Well, I'm not sure if that's a fair comparison, my dude. We already know AJ Dillon is a beast. Come on now. Jameson, nice to see Paisley in the appearance in the show. Absolutely. Absolutely. CH did fantastic during the last game, and that's what we need to see. We need to see consistency. Absolutely. Let's see here. So I think CEH could develop very well as a running back over the next couple of years if he really focuses. I do too, but I think with him, it's going to be more about the offensive line helping him and him not fumbling the football. It's like the grip of the football. It's like, I don't know if we need a new running backs coach for the Chiefs, but they need to really work on him, because anyone that has those fumbling problems, it just keeps happening over and over and over. And I like him. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's not like I think he's a horrible player, but obviously he hasn't lived up to the expectations based on the placement when you guys drafted him. But when you have better O-line play, then what happens? Your running backs play better. The offensive line gets the credit. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But also the running back gets the credit and the quarterback gets the credit. And I guarantee if the O-line has been playing better this season, we wouldn't really be talking about Mahomes or Clyde Edwards-Helaire today. And that's facts. Yeah, and I agree. The Chiefs are not using Clyde in his strengths as well. He is a good receiving back. Yeah, don't run outside trying to hit the edge. He needs to run inside, and he needs to be a pass catcher. I totally agree. 100%. Where do you think Chris Olave ends up in the draft? I mean, I'm going to miss him. I hope somehow Chiefs trade up and grab him. I don't know. I mean, the Saints need him. Everyone needs him. Everyone needs him. Jamison Meza. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the possible rumors of Chip Kelly going back to Oregon? Fucking love it. Fucking love it. I hope it happens, but I doubt that it will happen. JT, good karma. My dude. Yes, sir. $100% continue to build the channel up. And like I said, you know, it's just nice to be able to have people that support you. And then, you know, because I know some people, they get discouraged, you know, and I try not to. I mean, it's tough working two jobs. And when I do this physical job, you know, doing this warehouse work, I usually work on the phones, doing phone sales, or I do warehouse work. And, you know, doing warehouse work, you know, I'm not using a lot of my brain as much as, you know, doing selling over the phone, but the physical work that I have to do when I use my brain a little bit, but it's a lot of physical work when you're unloading these trailers, when they have like saws that weigh 50, 80, 100, 150, 200 pounds. Shit is not easy. I mean, there's a lot of times where I'm fucking drained to the core, and I don't have it to do streams or reaction videos, but I push myself and do it. You know, there's some people that just only do YouTube, or they have a desk job. You know what I mean? Which is a lot easier to transition to YouTube because you're just at a desk, you know, a desk job to a desk job. But to do like hard work labor, blue collar labor, and have to do, you know, the live streaming and do all that, it's tough. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, but I'm going to be doing the live stream tomorrow. Jamison Meza says, yep, it's still the best on YouTube are the ones that don't have the massive amount of numbers, is the real loyal and tight-knit community. Yeah, but I think that once even I do get big, you know, once I hit the 25K, the 30, the 50, the 100, I'm still going to be the same way, where it might take me time to go through all the comments, and I'm not going to just shout out the people that donate, you know, the donos to me. You know, I really want to make sure that everyone feels special. You know what I mean? Because that's how it should be. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone to be ignored. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, if you have a favorite YouTuber or a favorite person, you know, of course, like someone like Tom, you know, he's got so many people in the room. You know what I mean? He can't really comment on every single chat. But one big reason that I've never donated on YouTube to anybody, and I've donated to Tom Grossi like 4 times, is that he shouts me out even when I don't donate to him. You know what I mean? He actually, you know, hey, what's up, Northwest? Like, he reads my comment and says, what's up? He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't owe me anything. You know, they rated the channel. I got amazing people like Holly Hundo in return to it, which I'm so grateful for, you know, with the $620 in donos and the 400 subs that I got in 45 minutes and, you know, a future collab with Grossi when the Packers and Bucks play. Let's make sure that happens this year, you know, maybe in the divisional playoffs. I can't wait for that to happen. But, you know, you just want to make sure that everyone feels acknowledged and feels important. And that's facts. And I'll never change. I'll still always be the same person. Luke Birch, out of all 32 teams, what would be a division of death? Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, New England, and a trash division, Detroit, Houston, Jacksonville, Jets. Wow. Tampa Bay, Kansas City, New England. Whew, Green Bay. Wow. Could you imagine if that was one division? Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, New England. Woo. My God. Or Detroit, Houston, Jacksonville, Jets. Yeah, that would be ugly. Ark Omen 1. Hey, man, I'm a Bills fan. What's wrong with our team? It turned into a dumpster fire. I'm scared to play Tampa Bay right now. You have no running game. I think that's very clear. Yeah, Josh Allen was great last season. Stephon Diggs was great. But you have a lack of a running game. And if you have a lack of balance like the Chiefs, sometimes you struggle, right? And the defense, you know, plays good at times in spurts. The offensive line plays good in spurts, but it's not consistent, right? Dawson Knox dropped like 3 or 4 passes, a couple touchdowns, you know, in the game. Josh Allen is under pressure all day and all night. But let's just be honest, Ark Omen. Matt Breida, not good. Okay. Devin Singletary, not good. All right. Zach Moss, he's probably the most talented of them all. And he's an RB2. all of those guys are RB2s, not RB1s, and that's the problem. You guys need a Nick Chubb, a Jonathan Taylor, a Josh Jacobs, and once you get that, that's when you guys will make the Super Bowl and possibly win. But if you guys don't address the running back position, you guys are never going to win a Super Bowl, and that's facts. And I think you know that if you're a Bills fan. That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, shouldn't have drafted a running back in the first round. You can get ones in the second and third round if you have good coaching that it can be just as good. I respect that so much, Ryan. I appreciate that. Luke Birch says, still one of the best raids we've ever done. Yeah, and it makes me feel good that happened. Yeah. Tom Grassi always says he appreciates me. Yeah, and that's cool. You know what I mean? And just the fact that, like, you know, he's a hardworking guy, the raid, you know, he shouts me out when he doesn't need to. You know, that's why I donate, you know, to let him know that, you know, I know his dog isn't doing too well. And that's the same reason why you donate too, Holly. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to, you know, throw some, you know, donos to someone that needs it. Obviously, he's making a lot of money in his streams, but obviously with surgeries and dog stuff, I mean, sometimes there can't be enough money coming in. And obviously, if YouTube takes a cut, you know, you just want to be able to show the love and show some appreciation. And like I said, Tom is one of my favorite YouTubers. And, you know, I won't lie, you know, back when, like, you know, back in the day before the raid happened, I was like, you know, I was just jealous. You know, I was like, God, this guy, you know what I mean? I don't know, with this guy in the cringy voice, and I didn't really give him a chance and listen to him. Maybe I just popped in for a few seconds and heard him screaming, and I was like, what is up with this guy? And then, you know, you see other channels like Sports Fury, and it just got to a point where I was like, why are so many people growing in this NFL YouTube world and I'm not? Like, what is the deal? Like, why is YouTube have something against me where everyone else is growing, right, and I'm not? You know what I mean? It just got to a point where it was just so frustrating, but I prayed, you know, I kept just, you know, hitting the books, you know, hitting the internet, reading, doing the film study. And then, you know, I was blessed, you know, with people like Holly and Tom and the raid, and hopefully it leads to some kind of collab. And I guarantee if me and Tom collab in a stream, I know he collabs with Perna and Urinating Tree and a lot of those guys, Scooter Magruder, that he's friends with. But I guarantee if the Packers and the Bucks play and we collab, it will be one of the best streams on YouTube ever. And I know that he will want to stream with me again. Because like I said, he's got energy. I have energy. He's got knowledge. I got knowledge. And I don't think he really knows me as much as like Holly Hundo and you guys know me. Because I don't think he doesn't watch my channel. He's too busy making his own content. So I don't think he really knows me. You know what I mean? Like you guys do. But I think if we end up doing a 3-hour show together, he'll get to know me a little bit more and see what I'm about. And I think it'll be a match made in heaven, a Jordan Pippen, you know, type of situation, and a Madden Summerall, you know, a Tony Romo Jim Nantz, you know what I mean? A nice 1-2 combo. And I don't think that you're going to be able to match that type of energy and that type of entertainment value between the two of us compared to anyone else on YouTube. I'll take me and Tom against anyone else on YouTube, period. And I don't think anyone else will be able to compete. So I'm really hoping that, you know, he ends up keeping the word, and, you know, we can end up collabing together whenever the Packers and the Bucks play. And I think I'll impress him, and, you know, it'll be an amazing day. Because at that point, I don't even care about the donations. If he wants to keep all the donations because it'll be on his stream, I don't care about the donations. But if I can get some of the fan base to see who I am that doesn't know who I am, and I can gain 100 subs, 1,000 subs, and actually get those people to watch me as well, and then I can get 50 in the room consistently after that stream, that's what's really going to make the impact, I think, on my channel. So that way I can get new faces in here, because obviously the people that already subbed to me, you know, YouTube already has something against them not getting the notification. So that's what I'm really hoping for. It's not a big dollar amount. It's just about not necessarily the views, because Tom can get the views on his own, but just to be able to get some new faces to be able to know who I am and to be able to interact with Tom in a stream, I think would be legendary. And that's facts. Let's see here. Air Whitey in the building. Gang. Yes, he is. Yes. And like I said, I mean, I feel like an asshole to judge him. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you don't actually give a chance to someone and you just like know who they are, or you only, you know, pop in for like a few seconds, of course you're going to have a perception. And there's a lot of competition on YouTube, you know, for the NFL streaming game. You know what I mean? There's a few of us that are pretty big that most people know, but shame on me, you know, for jumping the gun. You know what I mean? And thank God, you know what I mean, that you know, I was blessed, and then I was in the right place at the right time. And I'm hoping to, you know, be able to build, this channel. And I just think that just doing a stream with him would be amazing. Cause I mean, I watch his streams. I mean, Holly Hundo knows. I mean, I always acknowledge her and, a few others that are in there like Luke Birch. I mean, anytime that usually I hop in, I try to Kaylee when she's in the room, and it's just cool to be able to, have that friendship, with people in there. So that's big facts. Calvin Griffin in the building. What to do? So no need to be jealous to make it as a YouTuber seems to be incredibly competitive. It is, right? But if you can link together and then end up building like a stable, kind of like, in wrestling, when you actually have a stable of like the best YouTubers together, I mean, the possibilities are endless. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't have anybody, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I don't even have anybody really, helping me with editing or green screen or, like I don't have a manager. Like I'm really in it by myself. I have no help. I mean, besides the people like the fans, like Holly Hundo and Sarah that try to promote, but like, I don't have anyone. I mean, I've been doing everything by myself pretty much from day one, even when I had, my partner that quit on me. I mean, I'm really the one that, sold the Michael Jordan rookie card. I'm the one that did the green screen work. I'm the one that really put in a lot of the work. So hey, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? And I think there's plenty of room for me on YouTube. And I just want to be able to be known by more people. Cause I mean, I know there was a lot of people when the raid happened, they have no idea, who I was. And I mean, I've made 12, 13, 1,400 videos since 2017. I mean, if you've seen any reaction video since 2017, you probably have seen me or live streams. So, but even with that said, there's so many people out there, doing streams and, doing all kinds of content. It's hard to be able to get those people to one spot. And like I said, Tom has worked really hard to get where he is today. And I'm trying to follow in his footsteps. So that's facts. It's like the Heenan clan. Yep. Paula Orion is the guy. Appreciate that. You have to start somewhere. You'll make it to the top, Orion. I believe in you, brother. Thank you, man. And like I said, it's not like I'm sitting at like 200 subs. I mean, I'm over 20,000, which it's a number that I'm incredibly proud of because most people will never see 20,000. You know what I mean? But I just wish that the people that sub to me would actually reflect those numbers. You know what I mean? Because I mean, with 20,000 people, at the very least, if YouTube was helping me, I would have at least 100 people in the room on every stream, at least. You know what I mean? But obviously, there's some kind of thing against me, I guess. But whatever. I just got to be positive. I got to be a positive Pete, not a negative Nancy, and I'm gonna keep grinding it out, and that's facts. Hey, yeah, Ryan, you've been working your ass off. Suck that your partner quit on you. You're always our boy, Ryan. Appreciate you guys very, very much, man. Said, well, thanks for being so chill, guys. Really appreciate such a great audience here. Absolutely. Paula's in the building. Holly Hundo's in the building. Well, it's I was only planning on doing a stream for 30 minutes, and then look at this, 2 hours and 16 minutes. That's what happens, when you guys love, the fan base and you love everything that you do. Let me finish these beers, and I probably should call it. Let me see. Look at the score. Golden State Warriors 79, Blazers 66. No surprise. The stream was initially called Drink Beer, Ask Questions, but now it's pretty much been Ask Questions, Drink Beer. So let me get to it. Oh, yeah. Beer. But yeah, tomorrow we got Vikings, right? We got Vikings tomorrow on TV. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Vikings, tomorrow. I mean, you lost to the Detroit Lions, right? You lost to the Detroit Lions at the end of the game, but I got my boy, Swaggy P. Some of you guys know who he is. It's like one of my legit best friends. Forever, you know what I mean? Like he's gone through a lot of hardships, addiction. He's gone through a lot of ups and downs. But we got Steelers, Vikings tomorrow. Obviously, Grossi will be streaming, so make sure you guys give him some love as well. But I will be streaming, so make sure you guys hop in the room and hang out with me and Preston, and we're gonna watch the game and enjoy it. And we're gonna talk. I know we're gonna talk. Anytime I hang out with Preston, we talk about everything. We'll talk about toys. We'll talk about the 80s, the 90s. We'll talk about movies. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about anything, depression, addiction, whatever comes up in the chat. It'll always be interesting. I'll make sure I do a good job, calling the game, live play-by-play and reactions, but I'm definitely excited to be able to do that. Drink beer, eat gummies, ask questions. Yeah, I didn't. This is crazy. I haven't even ate my gummies yet. Like I have a whole box of gummies that I haven't even got into yet. I was gonna eat gummies and watch some TV with my girlfriend and watch, Paisley and the puppy. But hey, when you're having a good time and hanging out, I know my girlfriend's playing on her phone right now. She got a brand new game on her phone that she downloaded, so I know she's doing that. So let me finish this beer here. We're not done just yet. Any other last minute questions that anyone has, make sure you toss them in the chat and I'll get to them. I mean, essentially, this actually turned into kind of a Chiefs talk, a Chiefs chat, and I don't mind that at all. God, it's hot in here. I'm just sweating my ass off right now. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Yeah. Make sure you guys have a great night. Shout out to Holly Hundo. $400. Let me say that again. Not 100, not 200, not 300. $400 alone from Holly Hundo. Terrence Harris, $10 on the Cash App. And then we got a lot of other donos here as well. I'm not sure if I'll be able to scroll up to be able to see them all. But I know Sarah Small had some donations in there. Luke Birch had a $2 donation in there as well. Let me see if I can scroll up. Oh, there's Holly Hundo 200, Holly Hundo 200. God, you guys are just fucking psycho. You guys are psycho in the greatest way possible. Air Whitey, $5. There's Holly with her other 200. Alicio Lawan, another $5. Sarah Small, $1. Thank you guys, man. You guys are fucking amazing people. I love you guys very, very much. All right. I think going through all the chats here, it's all right. Yeah, going through the chats, it was all getting all like distorted there. So appreciate you guys. I love you guys very, very much. Take care. Be safe. I will be here tomorrow for the Vikings and Steelers. Swaggy P will be in the building. I'll do a notification on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, just letting everyone know I will be streaming. This was an amazing stream. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Let me see here. What's Luke Birch got to say? He said, we meet in the playoffs again. Please don't line Scotty Scoot with Kevin King. Oh, I will. Absolutely, I will. Jameson Meza, Orion from Another Reactor. He mentioned that YouTube shadow banned his channel. Maybe that will be something you might want to check in about with dealing with YouTube. Shadow ban. What does that mean? Jameson Meza. What does it mean when you get shadow banned? I don't know what, I mean, they don't give the notifications to my fans. I mean, you just have to assume that I'm online, but whatever banning that they want to do, or I don't know, I'm not going to let it discourage me. I'm going to keep grinding it out. I got some of the best fans on planet Earth, the Fanatic family, you guys. And I always enjoy your guys' comments. I always enjoy your guys' commitment. I love you and I appreciate you guys very much. And shout out to Holly Hundo, Alicio, all you guys. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. I love you and I appreciate you so much. Big shout out to Holly Hundo, $400. You are the MVP. Love you. Appreciate you. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of your night. Jameson Meza, Holly Hundo, JT, Luke Birch, Chiefs and Angels, Ark Omen, Amber M, Paula, all y'all in the building. Love you. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your night. Peace. You guys are the best. Love you. Gang.